Hello, friends.
Hello.
Welcome to the Get Into It podcast with Oscar.
And Hannah.
Welcome back. It's been, I don't remember how many weeks.
It's been 4 weeks instead of 3 weeks.
4 weeks, man. I'm so tired.
Yeah, it's been long. We've been busy.
Yeah. Is the sound working? That's my number one thing. We've had it now 3 podcasts. Is it? Wait, it can tell?
It must be. Yeah.
Oh, hallelujah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Sound is working. That was my double check.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. Well, this is the Marvel episode. We are going to be talking all things Marvel.
Yeah.
Hannah's a huge Marvel fan.
So I'm going to be taking the lead from here.
Yeah. Giving us all the rundown.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's one thing I know, I'm a nerd. So, and people won't let me forget it. So I will be talking about some Marvel, I guess.
Yeah.
And we would love anyone in chat, or when you come to chat, whoever's there, hi to everyone on YouTube, if you are watching on YouTube, to leave comments or suggestions or any thoughts you have on Marvel. I want to hear them.
Yeah, and maybe before we get too far, we can just shout out our other socials.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
In chat.
We're going to do, we have TikTok, leads us to TikTok. Oh, wait, I think it's Insta. It's
just Insta?
Just Insta.
There we go.
And then if I go, you're looking for TikTok. Yeah, I gotta do them in that order. There we go. So there is our Instagram. You can go follow, and our TikTok.
And our YouTube is somewhere else.
Wait a second. Did I not add a YouTube one?
Well, I think is it in your bio? I think it's in your bio.
Yes, it is. I swear. Oh no. Okay.
We don't have a command.
Okay. Yeah. No command for it, but it is in my bio. I think if you click the Oscar and Hannah Get Into It banner, I think it leads you right to the YouTube.
Yeah,
I
think so.
I'm like 80% sure.
But you can always go to YouTube from Instagram or TikTok.
100%. We've got a link tree that leads to so many trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's connected on the interwebs. And we should probably also give you our agenda for tonight. So, tonight, agenda. Da, 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 da. At any point, if you want to know what is coming next or what we're even talking about, you can type in agenda. Exclamation point agenda will lead you to all of what we're going through. So first on our agenda tonight is the report. Second, the O-Talk. Third, superhero makeover. Then we have our Q&A section, and to end off, our yeah moment. Yeah. Should we get into the report?
Perfect. Before that, we will do our...
Wait, you don't want to do it during?
Oh.
We did during last time.
Oh, sure, let's do that, yeah.
Yeah. But you need to intro what we're... Okay, I'm going to switch screens, but tell us what the next thing is.
So, if you haven't been here before, we have our little bulletin board, and because this podcast is in honor of Doja Cat.
In honor? In memorial?
Inspired by Doja Cat. We write a lyric of her song on this board
every
week just to reflect on and meditate on a little bit.
It give inspiration to
just to really think about all week. So the lyric for this week is
I don't know it.
If she ain't got a butt.
If she ain't got a butt, get into it,
Mm-hmm. Oh, so that's what we're doing.
That is that your favorite lyric? What's your favorite lyric of the song?
I definitely love the chorus. I just think, again, I've talked about it all the time, I just honestly think it's so powerful, and we lost a couple there on my lap.
Okay, I'm trying to think of, what does she say when she's like, put a shit up in a record, laka.
Yeah, she hates that verse too. Have you seen her video? Yeah, no. She hates it.
Interesting.
She said, she just said it was just ridiculous stuff she made up or something. There we go. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
If she ain't got a butt. That's the lyric?
Yeah.
If she ain't got a butt.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it. Okay, report. What is the... What?
Are you going to use the microphone?
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, you're right. Okay. Thank you, Hannah, for reminding me.
It's also not on the screen.
Oh, you're right. All the things.
The report!
I think that was awesome. So good.
Yeah.
This is my bag.
I don't know if it shows up at all on stream. You guys, someone in chat needs to tell me if that sounded at all horrendous or horrible or beautiful, man.
So
Maybe it was like
true.
wonderful. A wonderful noise.
I think it was perfect.
If
Do you want to find me the letters?
Yeah, I'll find you letters.
I feel like it's a good...
That's a good combo.
Because I get really frustrated trying to find the letters.
If she
and
ain't...
frazzled.
Okay. I'll spell some
I
words
need an
here.
S, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. S. Okay, and then space bar to go next. No, down. No!
Oh. Be right back. Like
Be
this.
right back. Okay, the Met.
Mm-hmm.
Topic number 1 of the report. The Met. The report, as a reminder, we are just reporting on all
Okay.
things and everything all the time.
More specifically, we're reporting on like things that happened since our last episode. So for this episode,
In pop culture.
it's in the last month.
It's the realest news you can get.
Yes, it's the real news, as is the caption.
That wasn't a very good description.
What?
That it's everything all the time and all at once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything everywhere all at once.
So the Met happened, and it feels like it just happened because it did. It was in September, the last one, wasn't it?
Yeah. So do you know why?
Well, they didn't have one for 2 years because COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The 2021 was canceled. The 2021 one was canceled. And so they decided to do the 2021, but late. So
Like
they did
not
September
the
instead of
normal
May.
season.
It's usually the first weekend of May, always. But they moved it because they realized they could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a very recent one. But now she's back in action. Welcome the Met, our beloved, wonderful Amy Winehouse. No, Anna Wintour. I don't know why I said Amy Winehouse.
Anna Wintour.
The Vogue
Yeah.
late gal. She put on this lovely event for us. What outfit stood out to you? When you're thinking about the Met this year, what were your like top 3 or top 5?
To be honest, like I just feel like I wasn't obsessed with anything. Maybe it was just the mood that I was in.
This year was kind of lame.
Did you think so?
It was a bad theme, I think.
And maybe it's because also like it was recent, the last one, so I'm just like, same old Met stuff, I just didn't feel like inspired, and I was just, I don't know, it just wasn't hitting for me. It wasn't slapping.
It didn't slap.
It didn't slap.
What do you have?
She ain't.
Yeah, it did not slap for me either. There's so many mid outfits it felt like this year. Okay, I really like Gigi Hadid's.
Yeah.
Or is that Bella? No, that's Gigi.
That's Gigi.
Sorry.
She looks like a superhero.
Yeah.
So that's kind of on theme.
On brand.
Yeah.
She show up on topic.
Yeah.
Gigi's I liked. There's like a lot of them I liked. I think the concept was it was gilded golden age, right?
Yeah, which I
That's
also
the name of
wasn't
it?
clear on like what that even meant.
That's like the golden age of Hollywood and American culture, right? Is what they're referring to there?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
It's like Americanism, based off of like old Hollywood, I think.
Which is also an interesting theme to have because the last one that was not even a year ago was also America themed, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
So it's
I
like
thought that was weird.
It felt like they usually have to do it to the themes based around what the Met sort of is presenting at that time, because they have like always an exhibit to go with them. So I think normally they try to make it so the event itself is what informs the exhibit, but I don't know why would they have two so similar? I don't know. I'm getting confused by it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't find letters either.
I need an I, N, T, B. I need lots of T's.
Lots of T's.
To spell butt.
If she ain't got
yeah,
and
like
then
okay.
Tessa Thompson,
Nice. Tessa
beautiful.
Thompson's beautiful.
She was
I
beautiful.
love that.
I honestly, my favorites, I think, were the three I have here on screen.
Yeah.
Okay, Vanessa Hudgens is also really fucking sexy, man.
Yeah.
And wait, Emma Chamberlain showed up and popped off, kind of.
Yeah, I know. She was beautiful, and it was just, like, so beautiful. It wasn't as, like, statement-y as some of the others, but it was just, like, such a gorgeous dress. And Vanessa's, like, I think I loved it, but it was also very typical her.
Yes.
I think lately I've been, like, when somebody does typical them, I'm bored. Mm-hmm. And I want you to, like, show me that you can, like, do multiple registers and stuff.
Like when RuPaul as a drag queen didn't show up in drag to the Met.
Did that happen this year?
Not this year. As like when they did the camp theme Met Gala and he showed up out of drag.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this something I don't understand?
Yeah.
Was your makeup artist busy? Like, this is embarrassing. Like,
ran out of time. Yeah, or like, yeah.
That's
what
weird.
am I gonna say? What I was gonna say? Oh, this is Sarah.
Then there's the controversy with the Kim K outfit.
Yeah, big.
That's the wild one.
Mm-hmm.
Because people on Twitter going insane, saying that she did not deserve it. She didn't earn her place to wear that outfit. She's not the next Marilyn Monroe. And I'm like, who's to say, man? You're a bunch of people on Twitter.
Yeah.
She's the one who literally was like bought it or owned it or purchased or was given permission. She's the one who was like, she got the permission, man, in whatever way, whether it be she bought it from them or was literally given the blessing. She had the power to get that outfit. Like, then honestly, who cares?
I know, and that's the thing with Kim is that she always does the grind. Like, she will, like, she's just been constantly, like, fighting her way to, like, fame and stuff, right? And, like, that's, I just think, part of it, you know?
Yeah, and they're like,
is that she makes friends, and these friends want to give her these opportunities, and yeah.
Also, she's like, Marilyn Monroe was known for being like this sex icon. How is Kim Kardashian not that?
Right.
Every time she gets naked, it trends for 4 weeks on Twitter. Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's her entire brand.
Yeah. Although I did honestly hate that she like lost all that weight so fast.
Really? I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't see that?
No.
Yeah, so she talked about how she lost 16 pounds in 3 weeks.
Yikes.
Yeah, which like just, you know, and yeah, so
the dress still didn't zip her.
Yeah, a lot of people were like really, you know, critiquing like that she would do that and that she would like, you know, okay, like Lily Reinhart commented on it. She was like one of the most high profile commenters on it, and she was just like, that's just so damaging for like people who like struggle with like weight issues and like all of that, and you know, can just be really harmful for like people who are looking up to you and like whatever. Yeah, and then I read an article or something just saying that like that kind of like weight loss stuff used to be so like celebrities were just heroes for doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. That's amazing.
Just iconize them, and it's like, wow, like if only I had the like discipline to like do that. Oh, that's actually, I don't need that. I need an A. Oh. She ain't got a butt. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, like this article was saying like that used to be just like such a coveted thing, like celebrities could brag about it, but now it's like we are in like a culture of like attempted like hi Ailey.
The Met. Sorry. Interrupted you.
Yeah, no problem. But now we're in a culture of like there is a huge wave that's convincing a lot of the culture of like healthy dieting or like cancel dieting because dieting's not healthy, and just like lots of that kind of conversation. And so this article was saying it's like most celebrities are still doing that kind of ridiculous unhealthy like weight maintenance and stuff, but they keep it private because they know they're gonna get hate for it. But Kim Kardashian, she kind of thrives off of hate.
Yeah.
She loves attention, she loves drama, and she just like doesn't care. So of course she's gonna say that, and she's like honestly probably in bliss right now, the fact that it went viral and people are so
number one
angry.
right now.
Exactly, and it's like people being angry is exactly like what she goes for and like loves. And I mean, I think Kris Jenner does that too, and yeah, so
they're brilliant for it. I mean,
yeah.
Ailey says, "I'm so sad Kim ruined Marilyn's dress." Yeah, it's a little sad that the dress it got a little messed
I heard
up.
that it got a rip. And
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
yeah,
ripped.
Which,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think she looked amazing. I think she was like the sex icon of the entire Met. I think the controversy is really weird around it.
Yeah, people just love to hate
Exactly.
Kim for sure. But it's like, I don't know. How I always look at like Kim's hate is like, you love to hate her, but like you have to like just know that she's like just exemplary of our culture right now. Like you have to know that like the reason like she gets hate is the reason she's famous, and like you just can't stop talking about her, and like what does that say about you, and like
She
just
loves it.
kind of be introspective there. She loves
Society
it.
loves
we
it.
love it. Like, you know, so yeah. She's there for the controversy.
And then we had our 2 featured guests, the lovely, lovely couple, the couple of the hour, Billie Eilish's boobs.
Okay, explain Billy's look to me. I didn't get it. I didn't read about it.
Oh, it is amazing. So it's very much just like this exaggeration, very Gucci of the like, they take things to this like sort of exaggerated like campy aesthetic. Yeah, it's like the old bustier, the old glamour of Hollywood, but like amplified extreme. Like it's just all of it's very extreme. I kind of wish the outfit went a little more extreme, like had like more, was bigger or something, but she did that last year, so it would have kind of been a copy.
Yeah.
So, but the look was, I think, really well done.
Yeah. Okay, what her look reminded me of is, have you seen Les Mis?
Yes.
Have you seen, you know...
Are you talking about Anne Hathaway with the snot bubble?
Michael, it's like the saddest song in the world.
It is sad, but she had that ew booger that made me like not like her. Oh shoot, I went up one.
She did amazing.
She did so good, like
but
her
that's not what
singing,
I'm talking
but there's like a
about.
booger there the whole time, and that's all I think about. I watch that movie and go, well, I hope that doesn't pop up again.
Oh my gosh. Normalize snot.
What?
She reminded me of like the bad
Helena
couple.
Bonham Carter character?
I guess so.
Oh,
Like that kind of style.
I don't know how to say her name. I always say Helena Bonham Carter.
Bonham, I don't know either. Yeah, but I don't know if we want to look it up. But like, I just feel like she reminded me of that, but it also like wasn't that far. Like it was like also classy, and so the look kind of confused me. Because I'm like, are you trying to go for like that really flamboyantly like excessive, ridiculous, or are you trying to like look classy? And like it was this interesting like hybrid.
That's kind of how Gucci is though. Is they're like that.
Yeah.
They're like that very in your face, like throw up the high fashion, high price. They're always about looking expensive, not necessarily like beautiful.
Yeah. See, that's what I like needed to like learn about. Is I was like, what is like, why is it like that then? You know. But yeah. Anyway, this is our.
She ain't got a butt.
If she ain't got a butt.
If she ain't got a butt.
At Oscar Michael.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then.
So that's done.
Who do you think won the Met? Because I already have my winner picked out.
Okay, but you said these are your top 3.
Yeah, I know. So you can probably figure out who my winner is then. Who's your winner? If you're like, that's the one that won the Met this year.
Enough.
What first one that popped in your head that won? 3, 2, 1.
Cardi B.
Cardi B is your
know.
winner. She had a good look.
She
had
looked
a
good.
really
She just
good
looked
look.
flawless. I was like, I can't really critique anything in her look. I think, you know.
I think my winner is Blake Lively. I think every single year she pulls out these amazing gowns.
She look nice.
And they always are like very on theme, very beautiful, very well done. But they're always like lacking concept, where they're like they're just like someone always outshines her. This year I don't think anyone outshined her.
Yeah.
I think she had the most press behind Kim Kardashian, and she had only positive press.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do. And her outfit is high concept too, with like the tearing, with the rusting of the Statue of Liberty being the concept behind the dress. I was like, amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is so cool to me, and looks amazing because she just looks amazing. She's doing like a basic gown, which is also just like, she looks good in those. So yeah. And then she had the viral moment of Ryan Reynolds gasping at the dress because he didn't know the reveal was going to happen. Yeah. It was like, in my head.
What they do. They know how to get their press.
They know how to get their press, man.
For their little love story.
Yeah, their little love story.
Yeah.
Ah, man. Okay, should we move on from the Met? We spent 20 minutes on it.
Is this the cover of her album?
This is the cover. The cover is... Oh, wait. Does it show her? covers this guy. It's very explicit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
Wait, how's the song go? I'm gonna crash. Something like, I'm gonna crash.
That's totally how she sounds.
I'm Charlie XCX and I'm gonna crash. I love it. Charlie XCX released her actually quite highly anticipated album. There was a lot of hype behind it because she hadn't really done a full album release in a long time. She's done a lot of like EPs.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of build up towards this album, and TikTok is loving it. Internet's loving it. It is. I've listened to it a couple times. It is actually a fairly good album too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to it.
Yeah.
I feel bad that I haven't.
No.
I love pop.
It's very, very poppy. Like, it is, like, throw up in your face pop music.
Yeah, like, I am pop.
Yeah. It's,
Kind of
like,
music.
club pop, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my sister likes her a lot. Or, like, her singles, at least. So, I feel like,
Very good.
yeah, it'll be fun.
Lizzussy, boys. Lizzussy. Lizzussy. It's about damn time. Okay. This song, so I've been hoping for Lizzo to have her breakthrough moment because she had Truth Hurts, she had Good as Hell, she had, what was the other one? Boys, she had another one.
Yeah. She had the Cardi B song
Juice.
recently. Juice.
That was it. The Cardi B song bombed.
Yeah.
So it went it like hit top 10 and then instantly fell the charts the next week.
Yeah, people weren't loving it.
People disliked it. She actually removed it from radio, I think, because it wasn't getting enough traction.
Oh.
And then also decided not to include it on her new upcoming album, which is also weird because it was supposed to be the lead single. So she basically pulled the reins completely on a song because it bombed so badly. Which I feel like that's kind of been every project she's done since quarantine started. Has kind of fallen flat.
Yeah. What did you? I just remember how it goes. I was like trying to think how it goes. Rumors.
All the rumors are true.
Yeah, yeah.
Something about me and you. Huh?
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah, it's okay. It's kind of catchy. It's not horrible. It's just like there's nothing that unique about it or special.
I didn't think it was like comparatively like worse than her other songs, really.
No, but I feel like she had just such a huge banger in like Truth Hurts.
Truth Hurts, I think, does stand above the rest. Hey?
So high above the rest. And then, but I've been waiting for her to have her sort of like comeback moment of like a good viral moment, a song that she can promote and is both. I think she also needed to bring out a song that was like inspirational. Like she's had like a lot of her music has that very happy-go-lucky theme to it. So I was like waiting for her to bring that like almost where Taylor Swift failed because she brought out Me first. I feel like Lizzo needed to have like a Me type of song.
Well, that's kind of like what Lizzo is like the very like flamboyantly happy, like
very
bragging, like just that's the genre a little bit.
And I feel like About Damn Time is kind of having that moment. Like TikTok's obsessed with this song. It went so viral this past week on TikTok. And I'm very proud of Lizzo.
Yeah, I know. I'm happy for her. I think she's like a good person. Also, you know what's not on our report list is Coachella.
It happened.
We missed that.
It happened.
Lizzo
Shania
performed
Twain
with
was there.
Shania Twain and Lizzo performed
with Harry Styles, and he performed two new songs.
Right.
Two unheard songs before.
Yes.
And they were one. I didn't hear the one, but I heard the other. Boyfriends. Barry. Hi, Barry.
Hi.
Have you heard? Wait, how's it go again? This. In a minute, I'm gonna need a sentimental man or woman to hug me up. Feeling lucky in my Balenciagas.
It's hard to understand the lyrics.
Yeah.
It's hard, but
yeah. Lizzo pumping us up.
Yeah. Oh, what was I gonna say?
Wait, was it about this?
Oh, I have something about Lizzo. Yeah.
Lizzo? Okay. What's your...
There's like 15 seconds of the song that are so popular on TikTok.
Yes.
It's because it's so catchy.
Yes.
And the reason it's so catchy, I don't know, like you caught this, but it's because it's like the notes are like winding down. It's like.
Oh, it's like that one, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
That's literally what it does. It's descending down, and then it literally sounds like something's winding down, or like a cop car is like running past you, like it's tension building. You're like kind of
Kind of like Billie Eilish does that in a lot of her music.
Yeah, and then you're like waiting for the break. You're waiting for like the tension to release and like
It's about
bump
damn
again.
time.
Yeah, and that's what it does. And then it goes, it's about and then So I think it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Like hearing that musically, I'm like, you got it, girl.
You
it's just
really
exciting.
popped off with that one.
Mhm.
That's a good bridge.
It's a good, it's just good, like what she did with the literal notes of music that made that so catchy, and like
You're
I
right.
think the lyrics too.
We also need to learn the dance.
Yeah, I really want to learn the
I wanna learn
dance.
the
It
dance.
looks so fun.
Okay, the Lord Shushgate.
Shushgate.
This is what you wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lord Almighty. She addressed it.
She addressed it. We both saw it. Yeah.
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 What are your thoughts, Hannah? You had more strong thoughts than I did.
Did I?
Yes. You were the one sending me the hundreds of TikToks about it.
Hundreds, yeah.
Yes,
I
the
sent you
hundreds.
hundreds, yeah. Yeah, well... I'm just, okay, it's just not my personality. That I will just say it like this, like, I don't even know if I could go as far as to, like, my opinion is kind of strong in it, but I don't think I could go as far as to be like, that is an objectively bad thing to do. Like, I'm like, it's just my opinion, is that a concert is this interactive thing that you're doing together. It's a party, and I think, like, notably, COVID has shown us that. Like, without the group thing, concerts don't exist. Right? Like, without being allowed to gather in groups, you can't have a concert because it's unsafe, you know? So I think, like, COVID especially made us, like, so, like, keenly aware of the fact that, like, concerts are a group activity. And just, like, that's how I show up to concerts, is by, like, singing at the top of my lungs and screaming and dancing and, like, engaging with, like, the people who I go to the concert with. And, like I remember, like, my Taylor Swift Red Tour concert.
Yeah.
I remember actually being like, I need to pay attention to the stage because I'm having so much fun in this environment, you know? And, like, so that's just, like, where I come from, is it's such a social thing, is a concert.
Get hyped.
It's hyped because it's so loud. Where else can you play music that loud? Where else are you with that many people, like, playing
the sound
music
of the
that
drums
loud?
is
Like,
so nice,
the bass,
man.
like, it's just, like, it's such an experience. And so, like...
Wait. Hannah, shh. For 1 minute. I bet you rule the day.
I got shush-gated. Yeah.
Wait, but she didn't even say, like, wait, can you guys be quiet? Right? She just literally just started going.
She shushed, which I think is, like, the, like, part about it. But, like...
She immediately just started doing that.
But what I will say is that is the other end of concerts, that you are... Like, there is the social aspect of concerts, but you're also going to concert to watch a performance.
Mm-hmm.
And so she is just, like, wanting to highlight her performance. And she's wanting to, like, create this moment in her performance. And it's just something that I personally would never do because I love that social aspect. I'm like, I'm never going to shush someone. I'm going to be like, sing louder, let's both scream, you know?
Yeah.
It's, like, just my energy. And so this is just not what I do. But, like, she's an artist. She's, like, a melancholy, like, type.
Melodrama,
like,
man.
Dramatic,
She's a melodramatic,
like, artist, and she needs to do her. That's just who she is.
Yeah.
Also, the video was 4 years old, which I didn't know.
It was in 2017.
Mm-hmm. Which is also puts it in perspective because she was so young.
She was like 19
mm-hmm.
or 20 at the time.
Yeah, something like that. Like, she's.
Yeah, and, like,
you know.
I also go crazy for concerts.
So of course
man.
She's melodramatic.
They're so hyped.
They're just so hyped.
They're exactly what you need. And then, but imagine, like, you're in the hype moment and you're like, this is my emotional song. I bet you rue the day you kissed her, right? And then she just goes,
you're, like, singing about your own ex, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing. I just think, like, if I was in that like, when I watched the video, I imagined myself being in that concert, and I just would not have had it. Like, I just would have been like,
the
what?
audacity.
Like, I was about to scream that with you, you know? And, like, at a concert, you can scream because everybody's screaming, and it's so loud, and, like, when can you do that either, too, you know? Like, you can't do that in the car. You're, like, you'll hurt your friends', like, ears.
It's
you know?
painful to my...
So, yeah, that's my thoughts. But you do you, Lord.
Yeah.
Love you.
I'd be sobbing at Lord
sobbing
concert. 100%,
yeah.
man.
Well, yeah.
She's got such sad songs, but imagine you're sobbing and she just goes, shh.
Yeah.
So
she's
funny.
like, only me.
Yeah. My turn.
I know.
She's but I got, to go back to it, like, I'm glad she did address it, and she was like, I was young, I liked the vibes of a more intimate concert, and that was what I was trying to go for, and part of that was I liked these deep melodramatic quiet moments, and I tried to gain a more familiar presence with my audience, but she's like, I guess it didn't come across in hindsight.
Yeah.
And it's never something I'd do now, is what she said.
And I thought she took it really well in the sense that she was just like, she wasn't whining, but she was like, I guess it didn't come across. Like, I understand that, like, wasn't a vibe for people, you know?
Yeah. Okay. The trailer came out. Avatar 2, The Way of the Water.
Right.
It's happening. We're now going to be getting a sequel every
so
Christmas
nervous.
for the next 5 years, basically.
What?
Did you not hear?
There's 5 Avatar movies?
They've announced 4 sequels are coming out. And they've have them all filmed and done, like in the can, finished.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so we're getting a new one every Christmas now. It's an annual thing. Merry fucking Christmas. Sorry. You get to see the blue people doing their thing in the forest. Hi, Aiden. We get to see all these guys going. So the big catch with this one, they're a family now. And there's green ones in the water.
Okay, I thought that looked a different color. She's a mermaid?
I guess so. So I'm not, like, particularly excited about this movie. I can't believe it took them 12 years to make it. And now we have 4 of them coming out. Is that why it took so long to get the new one? They filmed like 5 films in a decade.
Yeah, I wonder why they did that.
I don't really know. I think
so strange.
So James Cameron directed all of them, and he said in an interview recently that each one is an individual story too. They're not like direct sequels. So each one like has the main characters of what's his name. There's Neytiri is the girl, and then I don't remember, Jake or something. Jake Sully is the main guy. They're going to be in each of them, but it's kind of like a new adventure every time. None of them are like direct sequels. It's like years apart, each one.
Yeah, interesting.
So they're very solo adventures, is what he's described them as. Which I guess will be a better vibe, because if they did a direct sequel, like continuation of what was in the first one, I think that'd be very lame. And that almost made me a little more interested in what's to come.
Yeah.
But I find it also very uncomfortable seeing all the naked people, especially all the naked women in these, with the way, I don't know, movies are nowadays. I'm like, why is just so much nakedness? This feels weird.
Yeah, movies like, I think the 2000s and the 2010s, maybe the 2010s especially, have just been characterized by, you need like shock factors in your film media, and like it's ruined like the thriller genre, because now only horror is like strong enough. Like, we're not thrilled by thriller hardly anymore, and it's like, I think that relates to the like nakedness thing of like, you need to just full naked, you know? It's not enough to like,
they need to be full naked blue people that use their ponytails to do the deed. Like, that's a weird concept, man. Did you like the first movie?
Yeah,
it's good. I think it's a solid movie. I think it's also a ripoff of like Pocahontas and Dances with Wolves kind of vibe. So I'm like, it's not an original story, but it's a well done story. And so I'm kind of expecting the same from these. Avatar was like the biggest film ever. Had zero impact on pop culture. 100%. Like,
that's interesting. Hey,
like, people made jokes about the blue people and stuff. Is the most you kind of hear about it now. I'm surprised I was able to name 2 of the characters' names from the movie. I don't think if you asked 90% of people on Earth, they could ever name one character.
Yeah, I know. Name. It's like it stood alone in its day, and it was the biggest. Like, we were obsessed with it. But yeah, that is so interesting.
Avatar is again the biggest. They did a re-release in China, and it outbeat Avengers again.
Wow. Yeah. Like, obviously, it's a good movie that people enjoy.
Keep watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I know, that's interesting, and it is interesting. The idea of having all these sequels, like 12 years later, you said? Yeah, because it's like, what, you know, how's the world changed? And I think especially coming through a pandemic and stuff, a Trump presidency, and like, there's just things that have shaped the world clearly in the last decade that, like, I don't know, I think it's interesting, like, and kind of daring to make the movies before all of this, you know? Yeah. Because, like, I think a lot of movies now
What if this one does really, really bad?
Yeah.
They already have the other ones filmed.
Yeah.
Like, what if this is, like, one of the most worst reviewed movies?
Yeah.
And is a bomb? Like what if,
And not relevant, you
exactly.
know? Because it's, like, I feel like it could easily be, you know? Like, I think a lot of movies and culture is, like, responding to the social situations that we're dealing with lately, and
It's weird.
yeah,
Well,
we'll see.
so good to know.
Charu,
Aiden,
is that
do you care?
is that a character?
Barry, do you care? Charu?
Charu?
Charu is that character.
I don't know.
But here's the movie to be hyped for, man.
I'm so excited.
Honestly, when I saw this photo of Margot Robbie, I got excited.
Yeah, right? Isn't it just the best? Like,
When someone said there's a Barbie movie coming out, I went, that's gonna be mid. And then I saw this photo of Margot Robbie and went,
yeah.
I love Margot Robbie. Yeah.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, and also, did you know it's like directed by what's her name? Greta
Thornburg? Isn't
No,
that the
Greta
how dare you
No, that's
little kid?
Greta Thunberg.
Thunberg?
is the climate activist.
How
but
dare you!
Greta.
You stole my future.
That's sad. Why would you bring that up? I'm so sad now. Such a heartbreaking speech.
But the way she says it is really, really funny, man.
Well,
dare
I guess it's funny.
Margot Robbie's Barbie's like the perfect casting.
I know.
I love Margot Robbie. Yes.
I know.
So fun.
She's just, yeah, I think it's going to be so fun. Interesting though, like her voice is not the typical Barbie voice of the 2000s. So that'll be interesting, just like see how they do that.
She kind of has a deeper voice in the...
She does, and she's Australian.
Yeah.
Which...
Will she do an American, like...
She probably will do an American accent,
yeah.
But, you know... I know. Margot is Bob... I know.
It's going to be so fun.
Yeah. Anyway, Greta Gerwig is the director who directed Little Women.
Greta Gerwig. I love her.
Yeah, she's like... I mean, she directed Little Women, and
yep.
she's amazing. She's also, like, a very feminist director, clearly, from Little Women. And to make it in that industry, I think you have to, like, be a feminist as a director who is a woman. So I just think I'm like so excited for it. I think it's gonna be amazing. And again, I think like a lot of people had that reaction of like, oh, Barbie, like it's gonna be this dumb spin-off, like trying to make money.
Simu Lee is gonna be in
like,
it too.
Yes, yeah, and Ryan Reynolds.
I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm excited.
I think it's just gonna be such a cultural like critique, honestly, and I think I'm just so excited for it. I think.
Fascinated.
We're gonna have to
way.
do a podcast, like something.
Yes.
Party for this movie. I'm so excited, but it's like a year away.
Oh,
a long time.
I'm hype. Netflix, is it dying?
Question mark.
So Netflix released their first quarter for 2022, and this is just a graph of their past through how their year's been looking this year. So they have had a really rough past 2 to 3 months. Netflix is losing a lot of money, losing a lot of subscribers. Their stocks plummeted. Their shows are being labeled as filler or or that Netflix doesn't know how to keep a good show running, which is so fascinating because they have still shows that are phenomenal,
immensely popular,
and so popular. Like Bridgerton had its more recent season just come out, and people are obsessed with it. Heartstopper was this huge random like cult success movie. TV show that this past month that got a huge following.
Oh, just this month.
Yeah, just this month. Then they have Stranger Things season 4 comes out this kind of fall. But I've already heard a lot of people say that they subscribe for the month. They know the show they're wanting to see is out, and then unsubscribe.
Wow, interesting.
And that's a lot of their vibe.
Huh. Yeah. What do you think of this? What do you make of it?
I think it's kind of they created their own death. They didn't want to play well with others, didn't want to play ball, and thought that they were on top of the world, unstoppable. But then it very quickly got exposed that they're not. Netflix is like their only thing keeping them afloat are their original properties now, which half them are really badly made reality shows or like these huge big budget shows that they can't afford to keep doing with the rate their company is dying.
Yeah, and like shows that have ended too, like The Crown's a Netflix original, right? And hugely acclaimed, but it's over. Like there's one more season and it's over, and like I feel like a lot of like even Stranger Things is coming to an end. Like a lot of the really acclaimed ones are
exactly like he makes the point. Like they canceled the animated series for the comic book series. Oh yeah, they canceled the Bone series. Yeah, I loved that comics book. Yeah. That is such a good comic book series. So good. I loved that growing up. Yeah. And then they canceled it before it even got a chance. And then they're still making the Big Mouth show, which has some of the worst reviews of all time, but it's cheap to make, cheap animation, easy to do.
Interesting.
And I just don't understand, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand Netflix very much. I almost never go on Netflix nowadays. I go when I know there's the big release I need to watch comes out, and then beyond that, I use Disney Plus basically every day.
Right.
Or I am going to be pirating things. Because there's too many streaming services.
Let it be known.
Wait, am I not supposed to
to
say
all the FBI agents that are watching?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting, hey? And, like, I think what's also it is representative of is, like, just they're actually getting some real competition.
Yes.
And I think, like you said, they didn't think that they'd get competition.
But then Disney is, like, a bigger company with more money.
Well, that's true.
And they also...
can snatch anything up they want.
Yeah,
right?
half their content was on Netflix, and then they just took it all off.
Yeah.
And it's like Netflix lost half its content, essentially.
And don't you find that it's getting so confusing? Like, things you thought were on Netflix are, like, now not, and you, like, look on Disney, and they're on Disney, and you look on Amazon, and, like, it's just, like, so confusing.
Yeah. And then the Fox buyout happened. Disney bought Fox. All the Fox properties got ripped off of Netflix, and are now on Disney Plus. So, like, two of the biggest movie companies aren't on Netflix.
Disney's getting scary big, hey? It's, like, really scary.
They're
huge. Like, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
But, something that I thought is interesting about this, though, is, like, Netflix is seeming bad right now, but competition usually is good for, like, a...
Maybe they'll have a rebrand.
Yeah, it's, like... like, they'll have to try harder, right? Which, like, is interesting. So, it's, like, I think it is true that they're, like, worse.
Yeah, I live on Disney Plus and Hulu. Well, here in Canada, we don't have Hulu. We have what's called Stars. And so it's the same thing. It's called Stars here in Canada.
And a lot of Hulu things are on Disney Plus. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, they're just they put them under the Stars label.
Yeah. So that always confuses me too.
Yeah.
Like, watch on Hulu, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm only gonna watch Netflix for Stranger Things. Yeah, I know. Hey.
Same.
It's interesting.
I mean, it's just so weird. But the day their stocks plummeted was the day they announced they were going to start implementing pricing for people that share their accounts with
what's that all about? Like,
I don't understand. They were like, that's one of their big features that they could almost be promoting and offering different like advantages for, I think. Like but instead, no. They've decided they want to find a way to crack down on it, and people just started canceling their accounts and
well, and like, I don't understand, because it's like they were already charging for it, like, because you had to buy a different package if you were going to have 2 screens at once or 4 screens.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't really understand.
It doesn't make sense
what
to
the
me
big
either.
deal is. Yeah.
But it's super weird. But then they also, they said about 250,000 subscriber loss this month.
Wow.
Was their actual like their margin for subscribers had its first major loss month or quarter in 250,000, and they said that current experts are predicting that their next quarter will have a 2 million loss.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
Yeah,
I know, it's like we're exiting the age of Netflix, and I don't know what the next age is gonna be.
Me either. I think it's kind of becoming like every brand is just developing their own.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we'll see how that goes.
Competitive streaming.
They still make money off sharing accounts because those people are still watching, which generates a profit for them. I don't know why they would ever crack down on that. Yeah, it doesn't quite make sense to me either.
I know.
I think it's because they just want, like, I don't know. They want, like, because there could be a household sharing with another household where they're like, wow, that's then like 16 customers all sharing 1 or 2 accounts.
Yeah.
They're like, what if we crack down on that? That would be, instead of them sharing 2 accounts, they'd be sharing 4 if we crack down on it hard. And I'm like, that's stupid.
I know, because people aren't going to watch it. Like, I don't know if I could, like, I don't think I could afford Netflix if I wasn't using, like, my dad's, you know? Like, I just wouldn't buy things, right? And, like, I feel like that's the point Aiden's making is, like, you're watching then. Like, if you're sharing, you're watching, and that's good for Netflix.
Yeah.
You know? It keeps people engaged, you know?
Mm-hmm. On the topic of really, really controversial things that led to a big downturn in our society. I don't know how to transition from here. Man,
yeah.
We just talked about a very serious thing like the stock market. And now it's like, okay, so there was an interview done. I don't remember who. Was it with Leah Michelle herself? No, it was one of their co-stars, right?
Oh, really?
I
don't
think
remember.
it was. I think
She'll
one of their
look it up.
co-stars. Yeah. Oh, yikes! You're right. 100%. One of their co-stars said.
It was just the co-star even? It
I
wasn't even
think.
them
I think
talking.
it was said that Leah Michelle, one point showed Jonathan Groff her vagina. And that went super viral this past 2 weeks.
It really went viral.
Yeah. And I don't. So Jonathan Groff is a gay man, and he had never seen a vagina before. And so while they were working on Glee together or something.
No, they were working on a play.
Oh, on a play?
And in the play, they had to play, like, very intimate love interests.
Oh, really?
With each other. Mm-hmm. And this was in 2009, and he wasn't out.
Oh, okay. So, you know more than I do. This is
Yeah,
wild.
I did a bit of a... Oh, yeah! Sorry, go on.
No. Who said this?
She also is offering to be a surrogate for him if he wanted a child, and people just think she's such a like weirdo.
She's so weird.
She's just kind of, but what I think is interesting is I just feel like I'm not like surprised.
No, not at all.
I feel like I'm not surprised. I'm like, this is what Hollywood girls are like.
Yeah.
You know, like, also, yeah, like I think I said to you when we first talked about this.
She was like, wait, you're gay? Open wide.
Yeah. And it's like, she's a theater kid crossed with a Hollywood LA actress.
Yes.
Like, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Like, this is exactly what I expected. And I expect there's more that we don't know about. That's
yes.
also as weird and
I want
out
to know
there.
more. Like, this is almost as weird as when we found out that, Lindsay Lohan lost a finger and got it sewn on in the same day.
Oh my
on
god.
her boat. And, like...
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, this is like the random like things of like these Hollywood women that are just the ones of the 2000s mainly, that they grew up in a weird age of Hollywood that had a weird version of the limelight and a weird expectation on them, and we get the weirdos, man.
It's just it's unhinged.
It's unhinged weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Enough about her Liasi.
Anyway, I think we
covered
discussed that.
Okay, Hannah, take it away.
Well, we got a new Taylor Swift song, which last episode we were talking about whether we'd get one, and it was all like shrouded in mystery. And then we got one again for the third time in recent memory for a movie.
Yes.
Because it's used in a movie and used in the trailer of a movie. And it is This Love, which is track like 11 of like 1989. I wonder if that was
maybe it's track 10.
Maybe track 10.
It's definitely in the lower half of the
I
album.
used to know this. And it's really pretty, and it's quite notably different from the first version, which some of her Taylor's versions have been like exactly the same. So yeah, to recap, this song is from 1989, which was released in 2014, but she recorded her own version so she can have the rights to it because she doesn't own the
original.
Rights.
So yeah, this is the Taylor's version, the redo, the remix, what?
Where is it?
This Love? You're missing track 9.
Oh, you know what?
Track 9 is not on your album.
It's track 9. Yeah, and I bet my sister already removed it from our library. Yes. You go, Queen. I'm pretty sure it's track 9.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
So it's track 9. This Love.
It's a late album, 1989. Slow burn song.
Yeah, it's a cute one though, and it sounds
it's kind of sad.
a lot different. But like
it's very synthy and it just feels modernized, and I love it. Not that 2014 was so long ago, but like it was long ago.
Yeah, there's some things like the stupid cowbell on Bad Blood that I hope she gets rid of.
Oh.
McDonald's waffle fries. This is the highlight of my entire year, and now it is also the devastation of my entire year.
Yeah, it's a whirlwind of emotion.
I know. McDonald's got waffle fries. I ordered them like 7 times in 1 week, and I would get 2 at a time. And now they're all out. McDonald's ran out of waffle fries.
That's so sad. In our region.
I actually almost could cry. I could cry right now.
You should cry.
No, I don't want to.
Cry.
I don't want to cry.
Cry.
No, I like the waffle fries.
I
man.
also have not even tried them yet, and they're already out.
Man, They're so good.
These first world problems.
Yeah.
They're
The privilege is
with.
really getting
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah, but I just actually find this interesting.
They were
this
so
is gonna sound
good.
so silly, but like I find it interesting culturally too because Chick-fil-A is the one who's famous for their waffle fries.
Yeah,
and
but they're horrible
McDonald's
people.
and McDonald's is famous for their McDonald's fries.
Yeah.
Like I would have never thought that McDonald's would expand their fries. They didn't need to. They were already iconic. Like they were already
these are
literally
better.
top culture iconic. So this is like, and for people to say they're better, I literally can't imagine.
They're so good.
I can't even imagine possibly them being better.
They are.
So it's just very interesting. I just find it culturally interesting. So that's why it's here on the podcast.
Yeah. We were like, here's the announcement. New thing at McDonald's. It's already gone. Wait, which way did I go?
I went the other way.
And right on time. Literally, we're going to give an hour.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know.
Doctor Strange in the
Wait, McDonald's waffle fries. Yes.
Yes.
But I think, you know what?
I think they're Canadian, though.
Mm-hmm. I think
they're Canadian. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You could check the app, though, in America. The app might have them. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness came out this past week.
Mm-hmm.
And it is...
Marvel release.
Yeah, Marvel movie. Big money to be made. It was expected to make $200 million. It made just shy of that. So,
wow.
well,
in the first weekend.
Yeah, in the one weekend, I think it made just shy of $200 million.
That's crazy.
It is, it doubled the first one's how much that one made. The first one made $85 million in the first weekend.
Wow, hey? So they really, wow.
This one is super hyped.
They are still picking up speed, Marvel, hey?
Oh, yeah.
They're just
this movie is
giant.
Like, the only one that's
crazy.
Ones that have done better than this one right now are, I think, Spider-Man No Way Home and the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
Like,
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, people are obsessed.
Yeah, and I feel like...
Actually, wait, you have to wait a week? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we won't
just
say any... No spoilers then. I won't say
spoilers.
spoilers.
Okay.
Yeah, no spoilers. But it's a crazy movie. It weirdly enough, it has some of the most mixed reviews.
I'm curious about the reviews.
Rotten Tomatoes score keeps going down. Interestingly enough, it started at I think like a 93 before it premiered, and then now I think it's something at like a 79.
Okay,
That's
pretty good.
It keeps but it has been continually to go down, which is interesting. The more reviews that come in.
Yeah, I'm curious what No Way Home's Rotten Tomatoes is now, because it was really high when I last...
it was at a 99 when the film premiered.
Yeah, 93. Yeah, that's like really high. Really high.
People love that movie.
93.
But Metacritic gave this movie a B+, which is the third lowest out of any Marvel movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is...
There is
a review mix happening.
Yeah.
See, we're at 75 now for Rotten
75
Tomatoes.
on Rotten Tomatoes, yeah. And it is really weird. While a lot of fan reactions have actually been giving it extremely high scores. Like, people saying it's their favorite Marvel movie of all time kind of thing. Audiences have been having really interesting mixed reactions to it. I personally still am thinking, like, what did I even watch?
Oh, like so much there that you can't even process.
Yeah. My brain is kind of just like, what was this movie? Like, was it like, did I just watch like a horror movie mixed with Spy Kids? Like, that's literally what it felt like. I was watching, which like this really weird like homage to like 40s horror movies and stuff like that. Mixed with like Spy Kids and Doctor Strange. I was like, what is going on?
Interesting.
Like, it was very weird movie. Very weird. Yeah. I won't give any spoilers then, but America Chavez, love her. But she's also, I think, a little underused too. Scarlet Witch is a queen. Everyone loves Scarlet Witch. She's good. Like, Elizabeth Olsen's just amazing.
Rachel McAdams?
Yeah, Rachel McAdams is back. But we already knew that. It's Christine Palmer. Wong is also great. There's just so much going on in this movie that I'm like, yeah, those are the main characters, but man, like, Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch really run the show in this movie, and they're very good. Very good actors in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some clunkiness, some things I didn't like. I'm confused. Yeah, I love Wanda. If This
Yeah,
Wanda's
she's so good.
very different in this movie. I was very surprised the direction they took her character, and it was really interesting to see. So I'm excited to see what or if they're gonna do anything more with her in the future. Because I don't know if she signed in more of a contract or anything, but it was a very interesting movie. I keep thinking about it, man, all the time, and I don't know what to think about it.
That's
I just
so awesome.
overwhelmed.
Yeah, she's such a good actor.
Yeah.
So is Benedict. He's nominated for an Oscar this year.
Yeah?
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh.
But he didn't win it. Who won?
I don't remember.
Oh, Will Smith.
Oh, yeah, Will Smith, the slapgate.
Yeah, he lost to Will Smith.
Okay. O-Talk time.
O-Talk.
O-Talk. Our topic... Well, I'm going to put the agenda up.
Nice.
Oh, no.
I'll do it.
I did something bad. Oh, no, I did it worse.
I did something bad.
Why does it feel so good?
Did it feel good?
No, it felt really weird, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Agenda. Okay. So, O-Talk today. I am going to be sharing so I think Marvel's a huge topic.
Yeah.
If I were to be like, here's the plot of every Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Boring. Here's the big overarching stories. Boring. Because everyone's seen these movies, man.
Yeah. Everyone's seen
yeah,
these
or at least
I've seen all the movies.
You've seen at least half of them, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah. Do you think I've seen at least half?
Probably. Have you seen? You saw the Spider-Man movies, most of the Avengers ones. You probably saw at least one or two of the Iron Man ones. Probably a Captain America in there.
No.
No, never a Captain America.
No, and I was so young watching Iron Man, but I think I saw bits and pieces, and I watched Black Panther.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So most people have got.
And
I
watched the Wanda series.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it is a pretty good assortment. Better than a lot of people that I know who aren't Marvel fans. Yeah.
Most people have seen at least the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
Or one of them.
Mm-hmm. And now Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be talking about the moments where Marvel just did it. Or didn't. I almost is more accurate.
Did or didn't.
They did or didn't. So these are times in which Marvel movies teased something or gave us an Easter egg at what they were hinting at for the future, but they never followed up or they retconned. So these are going to be Easter eggs that went nowhere.
Yeah. Because
there's some Easter eggs that went somewhere. And those ones were super great. Like the Tesseract being shown at the end of Thor. Where you're like, whoa, cool, is that the Tesseract? And then that was the entire plot of the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Was trying to, use the Tesseract.
Right.
Things like that. That's a good Easter egg. They teased it in one movie, and the next movie, all about that.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So these are times where it didn't go well.
So are you coming into this, with an awareness of, the comic books? And, that? Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
So you know a lot. You know, the stories before they even play out on the movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with a lot of different comic book runs. I've watched, I've read some comic books, but it's mainly I watch recap videos where someone will just within a 3-hour span or whatever. I'll watch it like a podcast where someone just reads basically a whole comic book series or gives a synopsis of what that whole comic book series was. Okay. Because I don't know the ones that were really old, past the mid 2000s. I only started reading comics in around 2010 kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I was gonna say the Thinker. What was this guy's name? Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
I forgot his name. Green guy.
Should I search it up? Green Guy Marvel.
No, it's Incredible Hulk. What's his name? The intelligent guy. Oh no! Why is my brain blanking? I always want to call him the Thinker.
The Thinker Man.
The Thinker Man, yeah. No, the Thinker's the guy from Suicide Squad that is the big brain. There's another, but this is the green one with the big brain.
Megamind.
Exactly. Whatever. Now it's bugging me a lot. What is this guy's name? Okay. I'm looking him up. Is he the Supreme? No, he's not Supreme Intelligence. That's the thing from... The leader.
The leader?
Is his name. It's so close to the thinker, man. Okay. The leader. Okay, he has minor mind control and emotional and like manipulation, blah blah blah. And he uses gamma technology to use it, like the Hulk. How he gets his powers is he is infused with Hulk blood, and stuff like that. So in the first Incredible Hulk movie, we're introduced to the character. He helps the Hulk.
Sorry, this is this guy.
Yes.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah. So in the Incredible Hulk movie, we're introduced to this guy. He helps the Hulk, but then at the end of the movie, he gets pushed over and shoved into a thing, and some Hulk blood drips into his wounds.
Ooh, gross.
Yeah, kind of gross, right?
Kind of gross.
We see his forehead start to like bubble and grow.
Ew!
Are you serious? Yeah, his skin starts to turn green, but then it fades to black, kind of thing, and it goes to the next scene. And then later in the movie, they're like, wait, there's another one. And they're like, there's another green guy. And they start shooting at it. You see sort of this guy faintly jump out of the window and run down an alley and run away. And he hasn't been seen since. He hasn't been in
it's totally a tease.
Exactly.
Something.
A tease for whatever's coming next.
Weird.
To be a big bad. He is a very big villain in the comic books. He has had multiple runs. Planet Hulk. He's one of the main bad guys, in which it's a whole series in which everyone on Earth is being infused with gamma technology or gamma radiation, and this man tries to take advantage of it because he's now immune because he has gamma powers and tries to take over the world and stuff like that. And he's like a reoccurring, very popular villain in the comic books.
Yeah.
And he's kind of an anti-Hulk because he's just extremely smart with a lot of manipulation and social tact, where Hulk is kind of just super strong with none of that. So they're very good counters to each other in a weird way. And so there's some good stories to be told. And he just hasn't come back. They teased him, they gave him a whole thing, and now it's been... That movie was 2009 or 10. That movie was 2010.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
12 years, and they still haven't brought him out.
Yeah.
Atlantis. Another thing that they've done nothing with. This movie was 2010 as well.
What?
Iron Man 2.
Oh, Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2, in the background of one of the scenes, you see Nick Fury talking about where all the Avengers that he wants to collect are on this screen, which is a little weird and kind of cool, but you see there's like Captain America's thing, and there's Thor's hammer is on there and stuff like that. And there's also Wakanda's on there that he wants to recruit possibly the Black Panther. And this was also 8 years before Black Panther came out.
Yeah, lots of great teasing.
Yeah. And then, but one that's never happened is Atlantis. He has one here, a circle for Atlantis, which in the comic books, someone who becomes an Avenger is Namor, who is sometimes the king of Atlantis, other times he's just a warrior for Atlantis, but he's an Avenger. He's a pretty popular Avenger. He was one of the first sort of Avengers way back when like Stan Lee was writing, even. So he's a very popular one that is from way back, but he still hasn't been brought into the movies. And they've been teasing him now for like 12 years again, and he still hasn't been brought in. And he's a very popular comic book character. I really enjoy his comic book line. There was the one that I read which had his girlfriend turned into like a giant fish monster and like started like attacking a city, so he had to like kill her and make all these choices about what to do with his girlfriend and stuff like that. So he's just had some weird storylines that are kind of interesting. But there's rumor that he will be appearing in Black Panther 2. So
right.
Which is called Wakanda Forever.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's actually called Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. So we'll see. Maybe this one will come like next year. Or when does that come out? Does that come out this Christmas? I don't know.
I don't remember.
I think it's at this Christmas, actually. Wakanda Forever comes out. Yeah, this Christmas.
November 11th, 2022.
So we'll see. Maybe Namor, one of the last sort of original sort of Avengers, shows up. The extra Infinity Gauntlet. This was a weird one, man. So in the first Thor movie in 2009, I think that was... No, it was 2011. Thor was 2011. Thor, yeah, they had at one point they go into Odin's vault during this movie, which is really cool, and they try to
Who's
steal some
Odin?
things. Odin is Thor's dad. He's like the king of Asgard.
Mhm.
At one point, they try to go into his vault to steal some magical objects, and one of the things we see is the Infinity Gauntlet in the background, which this was 8 years before, like, the Infinity War. So
Yeah.
this was way before. Like we had only seen one of the Infinity Stones in a
Mhm.
movie so far.
Yeah.
So this was like way before they were even doing any of that stuff. But there was a random Infinity Gauntlet, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, this is what they're leading to."
Mhm.
But then, when they released Age of Ultron, they teased that Thanos had one built for him. That Thanos had an Infinity Gauntlet built for him. So that means there's 2 Infinity Gauntlets.
So this one is still lost.
So basically, what they're saying is there was an extra Infinity Gauntlet out there in the galaxy.
Oh.
So in 2010 or 2011, there's one in his vault. 2015, Thanos has one somehow in his property that he built.
Yeah.
And then in 2017, they decided to fix this and retcon it in 2017, retcon, like delete it from the canon or like fix it. Create like basically a patch to fix their flaws.
I've never heard of that. Why is it called retcon?
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Retcon.
It'd be interesting to look up.
Yeah. But so Hela, the bad guy in Thor Ragnarok, goes into Odin's vault, and she starts talking about every object in it and gives a fun fact about each of them. She's just like, that one's nice, that one's overpowered, that one's blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets to the Infinity Gauntlet, which everyone's like, oh my gosh. And then she's just like, fake, and throws it away. So that's how they fixed that.
So they just fixed it up.
Yeah, that's how they fixed it. Was she just like went fake and like threw it.
So they're not. So then they don't want to do something with it.
So what ended up happening was the one that Thanos had in 2015 was the real one.
Yeah.
Was what ended up being true. Yeah. So they
Right.
I think they wrote themselves into a hole by putting it in this vault, because at no point did they suddenly realize when they were making Infinity War, were they ever going to have a chance to have Thanos go to Asgard? And so how would Thanos ever get the Infinity Gauntlet when he never goes to Asgard?
Yeah.
And so they needed a way to give him an Infinity Gauntlet without him going there.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense.
I get that, I guess. Yeah.
Another one when they did the exact same thing, basically.
This thing is giving Zendaya's dress for the No Way Home or whatever premiere.
Yeah.
Wherever premiere it was.
Yeah.
The gilded spine.
The gilded spine.
Yeah.
It was really cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
It looks cool. It looks like it's a cocoon, is what it's supposed to be.
Okay. So yeah, what is this?
So, Adam Warlock is again another very popular comic book character. A lot of people love this character. His origin is they changed his origin in the movies already. It was originally that he has the Soul Stone, the Infinity Stone, the Soul Stone, was Adam Warlock's to protect kind of thing, and he lives in this cocoon and was created in this cocoon by the Soul Stone kind of thing. And so this one you see on the left in this box is what his pod or cocoon looks a lot like that in the comic books kind of thing. And so I don't know why they did this, but they put that in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. They have this thing that looks very similar to Adam Warlock's pod or cocoon in the movie. And so fans go crazy. They're like, Adam Warlock's there. And Adam Warlock joins the Avengers, when they first meet him, he joins the Guardians of the Galaxy. So people are like, he's going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. This is happening.
Yeah.
And so people were freaking out. And also, they're like, he also has the Soul Stone. He must have it. But then, they just never did anything with it. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 comes out.
Really?
And there's no Adam Warlock. Until the very, very end of the credits, this random cocoon pod thing shows up. A different one.
At the end of the credits?
Yeah.
Well, that's got to be something.
Yeah, at the end of the credits,
Yeah.
this one shows up, and the queen of whatever, I can't remember their names, the golden people, whatever, they have gold skin in that movie. These like golden people, she's like distraught and like going crazy. She's like, I must create perfection. I must create a new Adam. Or whatever is something she says, or like I must create a new us, and I will call him Adam or something like that.
Okay.
Is what she says at the end of it. So Adam Warlock, then they retconned again, deleted this guy. This is not Adam Warlock's pod. Instead, this is the new Adam Warlock pod.
Yeah.
And they just cast who Adam Warlock is playing in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Was confirmed.
So he's coming.
He is coming.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, the Soul Stone, if you saw Avengers Infinity War, was not with Adam Warlock. How you got it was you sacrificed someone by throwing them off that roof, remember?
Yeah.
And then you got the Soul Stone.
That was sad.
Yeah. And so they totally changed Adam Warlock's origin.
So that's weird for them to change it and then bring it back again.
Yeah, so Adam,
just
we're just getting the character, I guess, of Adam
Yeah.
Warlock in a whole different way. A whole new type.
You have to wonder why they just skipped for a few years.
I know. I don't quite know why they did it. It's like, maybe it's because they didn't want, like, Adam Warlock's powers are very similar, or at least kind of similar to Captain Marvel. So because they were already doing Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel was this super powerful person who's capable of defeating Thanos, to have another one, like Adam Warlock, show up, he's super powerful and capable of defeating Thanos, like another person like that to show up, would maybe feel very bad narratively.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they chose it.
But regardless, they have to make a excuse now for why he wasn't there during all the Avengers drama, right? If
Exactly.
if it's gonna be
Because
present
this was
day.
set in 2000. Because this movie, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, is set in 2014, or Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is set in 2014.
Oh. Okay.
And now in the Marvel canon, we are in the year 2023 or 2024.
Oh, okay.
So it's now been
Yeah.
almost then 10 years
And
of
he
this
missed
pod
kind of the
getting
big
baked.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
that
this
he
character's
needed.
just been sitting in this cocoon then.
Yeah.
Which is so weird.
Uh-huh.
But do you know who they cast? I should have picked it up. The actor Will Poulter.
Will Poulter?
Yeah.
I don't know who I know. If I know who that is.
You don't know this guy?
Oh, I know that guy.
Will Poulter has been cast as Adam Warlock.
Oh.
He got buff for the role, man.
Interesting.
Like, he is way more buff now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He grew up.
But, yep, Will Poulter is going to be this character, which is also very weird for me to think about him in that role.
Huh. It's hard to picture.
Yeah. So I'm excited either way.
Interesting.
Yeah. Another weird one that they've done nothing with. I have a lot of these. Is this too many?
No.
Okay.
Is this a girl?
This is Jocasta. So, she is actually a really cool character. Yeah. Ultron. Do you know Ultron? The robot guy from the Avengers movies? He creates an army of robots to kill and take over the Earth kind of thing.
Weird that I don't remember that.
Maybe you didn't see the movie then.
No, I saw the Avengers movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Iron Man built the robot Ultron?
He's a bad guy, but Iron Man built him?
Iron Man built him and then he turned bad. Is what happens.
Is he like one of the space gods?
No. He's just actually just a metal robot guy.
I'm
Welcome
sorry.
back. Oh, and Black Alchemist, you're here. It's 6 in the morning.
Back from making tea. What kind of tea did you make?
Yeah, what kind of tea? We're talking about a bunch of fun facts about
6
these
in the
things.
morning.
6
That
in
is
the
a
morning?
flex. 6 is always a flex.
Yeah, man.
No matter if you stayed up till then or you woke up at
That's what
6
morning
a.m.
people say.
6
6 in the morning sounds crazy to me.
a.m. in the morning.
6 a.m. in the morning. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But, okay, wait.
Anyway, what kind of tea did you make? And
Yeah,
did you
I
take it
wanna
with
know
cream
what-
and sugar?
Ultron is a tin can with an ego. Exactly.
Okay.
I'll show you a picture.
I don't know why I don't remember that. I am really bad at remembering like plots of movies. Like literally, it just goes out of my brain.
It's the movie where Ultron builds Vision too in that movie.
This would have been the second one, right?
Yes.
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was
I think
7
I
years
was
ago
in-
now.
I was in like.
I was grade 10 or 11.
I feel like I was in junior high. I think I was in grade 9 when it came out.
No, it was 2015. So that was 2000.
2015. Oh yeah.
You would have been
I was in
like
grade 11.
Yeah, grade 11.
Ish.
I made a mint tea with a little cream in it. Perfect. That's
Nice.
perfect.
That sounds like
Oopsie.
such a vibe. Bro, I feel old. NPW. What is that?
I don't know. No plow way. I don't know.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Oh, sorry. You probably just meant now. I
Oh.
feel old now. I'm so sorry. I thought you were using
And
a slang that
I feel old now. I feel old now.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think.
Then I couldn't read through a typo.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what is NPW?
Oh my gosh, it must be a Twitch thing, right? Black Alchemist is really hip on Twitch. So it
Gamers
must be a
just
Twitch
like
thing,
they
right?
know a lot of like slang that I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Black Alchemist.
Sorry.
I'm really sorry. Thanks for being here, though. Nice
Yeah.
to have you here.
Yeah.
Have you,
and
have you, dear?
We're age positive here. We accept any age.
Any age.
We're glad you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm talking about Joe Costa. How many of you guys
Yeah.
have heard of Joe Costa? So,
No.
in the comic book run, Ultron gets a little lonely. Ultron's like, oh my gosh, what if I had a missus to warm me up at night? That's actually kind of the storyline. It's an old comic book from like the 80s or something.
That's so
Yeah.
unsurprising.
And she's just like, I need a woman to hold me at night, kind of thing. So he makes this voluptuous, whatever, robo girl.
Yeah, peak physique.
Peak physique Barbie doll for himself. Joe Costa is what he names her. And the storyline goes is that he makes her perfect to everything he wants. But then she doesn't like him back.
Ooh.
Is the storyline that she thinks that his motives and his intentions are bad, and what he is planning to do is not morally good. So he creates
yes, queen.
and so she decides to join the Avengers to fight against him.
Okay.
Yeah, she
Go
was
on.
made of nanotech. She's like the next evolution of Ultron.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I think not. Yeah.
yeah, and so in Age of Ultron, they teased Joe Costa, but they've done nothing with it. Tony Stark had a bunch of these files in which one of them is labeled Ultron, blah, 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 because he's going through them of the different AIs that he's created.
Yeah.
And he has like, what's the Jarvis and Friday, the two that he uses in his suit and stuff. But one of them there that's very plainly obvious in everyone's view says Joe Costa. So they've done nothing with it.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Joe Costa at all. She hasn't popped up. But, yeah, it'd be very interesting. I think if they ever do Ultron again, which they've kind of hinted that Ultron might come back a couple times.
Yeah.
So if they ever did Ultron again in some way, I think they definitely include Joe Costa in the storyline because they've already done Vision, which is like the other version of Ultron. So I feel like it's the only other way to go, which would be very cool. Joe Costa would be very entertaining. She's basically has all the powers of Ultron, but is a good guy. So she'd be very cool to see.
Be interesting. Love that.
The next weird one we have along these lines is Sony just being a dummy, man. Sony working with Marvel just sucks.
Oh
Like,
no.
they're so bad at trying to keep track. They always want to do their own thing. And then Marvel has to be like, no, get in line. Stay in line. Like, don't do your own thing.
We run a tight ship.
Yeah, we have things so crystal clear.
Yeah.
Sony, don't you dare screw things up.
Yeah.
And then they do dumb things. Man, one of the dumbest things Sony did was so the movie starts out, Spider-Man Homecoming, and they're during the Battle of New York. And that happened in the first Avengers movie. The first Avengers movie takes place in 2012. And what we find out is that the bad guy in the first Spider-Man movie loses his job and blah 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 because of the Battle of New York, and he gets really upset and depressed and starts doing crime because of it. Then they do a time jump.
Oh yeah.
And it says 8 years later, which would take us to the year 2020. But the movie Spider-Man: Homecoming is set in the year 2017.
So
it just doesn't make sense. They just didn't do the math. So the one movie said 2012 and the one movie said 2017, and both of them say it on them, and they just never did the math.
Oh my goodness!
And it literally says this 8 years later during it. It's one of the most excruciating things about these movies is when things, and almost all these little, like, or not these little errors, these big dumb errors like this happen because of Sony. They're so stupid, man. It's
rough.
And I remember the director of Avengers: Infinity War, the Russo brothers, were asked, what's the right timeline? Because the last movie just said 8 years. Are we doing a time jump thing? Blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And they were it's wrong. They just like publicly were like, yeah, they put the wrong number.
Wow, that's
embarrassing, man. It's so bad.
What? Imagine, like, just you're $1 million franchise and whatever, but you're just so human that you just did the math wrong.
You just did the math wrong, man.
We all have our days.
Yeah.
And some of them are more public, hey?
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's just, and yeah, that's their biggest blunder, man.
Yeah. Okay, but explain to me, like, what is the Marvel-Sony partnership? Because I never really understood that. But when I was trying to see if they'd make another Spider-Man movie, I was, like, reading that there was, like, a lot of controversy between the partnership.
So much chaos.
Of, like, whether they're going to make another one relied on their, like, agreements and partnerships and whatever.
Yeah. So in 2000, so they did the Andrew Garfield movies in 2012 and 2014. They released both the Andrew Garfield movies. Mm-hmm. And they planned to release
Sony did.
Sony did. Yeah. They made those by themselves. Mm-hmm. They planned, before they even released Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield, they already had booked, ready in like the pipeline, directors booked, money put aside for a Sinister Six movie, a Venom movie, a Venom 2, Amazing Spider-Man 4, a like Black Cat movie. They had 7 spin-offs already booked, ready to do.
That's a lot of movies.
But then Amazing Spider-Man 2 didn't do well.
Really?
Yeah, they were hoping for it to hit $1 billion. It did worse, I think it almost cracked 700 million. Like, so it did less.
Okay, that seems like a lot.
I know, it is crazy, but like they spent, I think, something like 300 million on it.
Yeah. And
then marketing, probably another extra 100 to 150 million.
Yeah, they're probably...
So Sony was hoping to make this their big flagship. And Amazing Spider-Man 2 was one of the worst reviewed Spider-Man movies. So they really put themselves in this hole in which they were... they basically were like, we're going to lose everything. Like, we put all our eggs in a bad basket. So they quickly said, we got to pull out. And they called Marvel and said, Kevin Feige, we need a head. Like, we need someone telling us, like, we need a head of our production. Because right now we have a bunch of random producers and random directors, no, like, head telling us a clear vision for our storyline. Mm-hmm. Kevin Feige, will you do that with our Andrew Garfield movies?
Wow.
And he said no.
Okay.
And he's the head. Yeah, he's the head of Marvel. He went, I am not doing that. I'm not leading 2 franchises. He was like, but if you want...
Wait, so he's already the head of...
Yeah, he's the head of the regular Marvel.
Said that. Yeah, he's the head of regular Marvel.
And...
Wow.
Yeah, and so he said no.
Wow.
But if you want, I will take creative control of Spider-Man, but I don't want what you have. Oh. So if you're willing to reboot again, I will take the job.
And that's where Tom Holland came in.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy.
Sony took the deal, essentially. So Kevin Feige...
They were like, we just want something with Spider-Man.
Became a creative director on the Spider-Man movies.
Interesting.
And in return, they gave Disney and Kevin Feige entire creative control. And they had to, in return, reboot.
And that's when Spider-Man became Marvel.
Yes.
As well. Like
so
when you watch it has the Marvel.
The deal was so fine-tuned, stuff. Like Kevin Feige had already casted Tom Holland,
Mm-hmm.
and he had booked like a whole bunch of production dates for Tom Holland on the set of Captain America: Civil War, because they were going to premiere Spider-Man in Captain America: Civil War,
Right.
and then give him his own solo movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they had a whole bunch of those things already pre-booked,
Yeah.
but the deal hadn't gone through yet. Sony hadn't signed the papers,
Mm-hmm.
and so they wrote 2 scripts for Captain America: Civil War, one that had Spider-Man, one that didn't. And they had Tom Holland ready to be like,
Wow.
"You're not in it," kind of thing.
That's
if
crazy.
if Sony pulled out of the deal.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, one of the scripts had Spider-Man, one didn't, and then I think it went down to literally like the week of where they need to start
Whoa,
shooting
that's
that the deal was
crazy.
signed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What a crazy industry, hey? That'd be so stressful.
Oh yeah.
Like, this makes me feel bad for all these people. Like,
Yeah.
which it probably isn't necessary. Because, like, I think they're leading fine lives. But, like,
It's kind of wild
it
though.
seems so stressful. And, like, yeah, to be Tom Holland and just be like, this is my
I could be Spider-Man or
monstrously
not
huge break.
in a week.
Or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is just crazy. That's just
Yeah.
imaginably crazy.
And Tom Holland, when he then signed that deal, he signed on for 3 appearances and 3 solo films. And he's finished his
Right.
contract now because
Yeah.
he did 3 appearances and 3
Yeah,
solo
yeah.
films. So he's up for renewal, and
Right.
no one knows what he's gonna do, or if he'll
We
come
can
back.
only just pray.
Yeah.
Hope and pray.
But before, so right after Spider-Man, because there's still a lot of weirdness, because Kevin Feige said he didn't want to make the Venom movie to Sony. And Sony said, well, that's fine. We'll just do it ourselves. Right around this time as well.
Okay.
And Kevin Feige was like, fine, but it's not part of the MCU. I won't have it be part of, like, my Marvel world.
Yeah.
And they were like, why not? We want it to be part of it. And he said, if I'm not in creative control, it's not part of my creative world kind of thing.
Wow.
Because it has to line up. And Sony was like, fine, we'll do our own thing. We'll create our Venomverse. So they made the Venom movie, but then they teased in the Venom movie that Tom Holland is part of the Venomverse. And that made a whole lot more confusing. Because it meant Tom Holland's Spider-Man is in the Venom world and also in the MCU. And people were, like, really confused.
Yeah.
Audience members did not understand it. They're like, is Venom part of the MCU then, or is it not? And nothing was cleared up. Then there was a bit of a disagreement right after Spider-Man Far From Home came out, where Sony got into another argument with Disney, in which they wanted Tom Holland to appear in the Venom sequel. They were like, we want Tom Holland in Venom 2.
Mm-hmm.
Disney was like, no, like, don't do that.
Yeah.
That'll only confuse audiences, and your movies aren't good enough, kind of thing. Like, don't do this.
Wow.
And Sony didn't like that, so they pulled out of their contract with Disney and took Tom Holland. So they canceled Spider-Man 3.
Okay, this is what I was reading
Yes,
about. Yeah.
they canceled Spider-Man 3
Yeah.
and basically
That's so
said we're doing it
insane.
on our own within our own production means. So
Wow.
they took full creative control back and basically said Tom Holland's no longer in the MCU. He's now in this Venomverse. And
Yeet, that is confusing.
yeah, people online went wild because
Yeah.
it was like 2 months of not knowing if there was going to be another Spider-Man movie
Yeah.
or what happened. And the last thing we saw was Spider-Man comforting Tony Stark's dead body in the MCU, because Endgame was the last thing we really saw, and then Far From Home and stuff like that. So it was like
Yeah.
this big character moment, and then he just gets ripped away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really weird. And so then apparently it's really confusing how the story goes from there, but I guess Tom Holland phoned both the CEO of Sony,
Drunk.
yeah,
Right? Is what I heard?
and Marvel and Disney or whatever, and was like, yeah, Marvel and Disney, and like was like begging them to come to an agreement,
Like,
so they
work it out.
yeah, and to
Yeah.
work within the MCU.
Yeah.
And then I think Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal, I think is her name, is she joined after Venom came out, as a creative executive for the new Sony movies coming out. She's now sort of their Kevin Feige for all their Marvel stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Amy
I read about
Pascal.
her.
And so basically, Kevin Feige and her get along really well. They're like old friends, I think, essentially.
Oh,
And so
well,
they
that's
started
good
opening
news.
conversations again and came to an agreement to bring him back.
Interesting.
Yeah, to do the third one. But I think part of that was Sony wanted a way to include Spider-Man in Venom. So that's why there was, I think there's been multiple teases and blah, blah, blah of like some sort of Spider-Man thing happening. And I think that's why Morbius, the new Venomverse movie about the villain Morbius, turned out so bad was because it was made during that time where it was so confusing. But it only finally got released now.
Yeah.
But it was made during that time where things were so confusing. So there's like some MCU characters are in it and stuff like that, but it's not part of the MCU. There's some Venom stuff that's in it that's not right. There's some random references to stuff from the old like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies that's not part of it. It's a disaster, the movie.
Yeah, wow. It's just like too much for people to comprehend and stuff.
So Sony's basically a big ugly dum-dum. And they should just give the rights back.
So, but okay, if I remember, there was like some Venom stuff teased in the like No Way Home.
In No Way Home, that was also it. Sony.
So I assumed Venom was Marvel.
Yeah. Well, basically, what they were saying there was Venomverse is a part of the multiverse. Because in No Way Home, they pulled a bunch of random things from the multiverse.
I see. Yeah, multiverses are convenient that way.
Yeah, exactly. And so Sony, I think that was their choice to make the end credit scene be Venom gets pulled.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And from the multiverse.
It's like their sway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Venom for Sony.
Yeah, there's also the Venom 2 ends with him just randomly teleporting and seeing a picture of Tom Holland. That's how Venom 2 ends.
Oh.
It's super random.
Yeah. And
it made no sense, and so they just said, "Oh, that was him getting sucked into the multiverse." After the fact.
Weird.
This is so confusing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, I was so shocked, man. Like, I watched Spider-Man 3 for the first time. Like.
Oh yeah, the old one.
The old one, yeah. And it has like Venom stuff in it, like the black stuff.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked because I had watched No Way Home like weeks before, and I was like, what? Like, this is all, like, I just did not expect, and I see that confusion maybe doesn't go away the more you learn about all of the, like, verses and stuff. So that's interesting. Yeah.
Sony owns every Spider-Man related thing. Yeah.
Huh.
Sony owns all the Spider-Man stuff. They're just really bad at organizing it and managing it.
Yeah. One thing about Disney is that they will
be very organized.
They will put out a product, and not everyone's Disney.
Yeah. And here's another casualty to the Sony crisis.
Oh.
At the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, in prison, this man who is hinted at to be the Scorpion, who's a big bad for Spider-Man, one of Spider-Man's big bad guys, talks to the Vulture, who goes to jail at the end of that movie. The two of them have a conversation in jail. But then they never do anything with it. Like, it never comes up again, ever. And suddenly, I think this guy appears in Morbius, which makes zero sense as well. Morbius. I know that... and that's in the Venomverse or whatever they're doing. And I know that the Vulture is fully just in Morbius. He's a character in it, which makes zero sense. So these things are just bad.
Just unhinged and
bad. Unorganized.
Yeah.
Better Ray Bill. This is another one. This is...
Wow, this is the comic book drawing, and that's what it looks like in the movie?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. So different.
Well, this is a sculpture.
Oh, of him?
Yeah.
Self? Oh.
So that's all we've gotten of him in the movies, too.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Is there was a big sculpture of him in Thor Ragnarok. And people
are like, what?
Freaked out. Yeah.
Gosh.
He's again another one of those like smaller characters. He always has like a small role in movies or in the comic books, but he's a fan favorite.
Oh, okay.
He's one of the few people that can hold Thor's hammer. beyond Thor.
Okay.
And he's worthy, just like Thor. And so, people kind of love him, and he's a fan favorite. And his head was randomly on this giant building in Thor Ragnarok, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, are we getting Better Ray Bill?"
Yeah.
And now that movie's like 5 years old, and we still haven't had him appear. We're getting the sequel this summer, though, so maybe he'll appear there.
The sequel to Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah,
There's
Thor.
More Thor?
Yeah, they're making a fourth one.
I'm so uneducated on Thor. I have no idea.
It's the first Thor movie to get it's the first Marvel solo series to get a fourth movie.
Interesting.
They gave it to Thor, which is weird.
Thor. Yeah.
And it's called Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, I think I did hear about that. That sounds familiar.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah. So, well, then he very well could be, hey?
Yeah.
In the next movie. It's so interesting, when we talk about this, I definitely get the vibe of, Swifties trying to, think of, was that a hint?
Was that, yes.
Was this, and being so, there's just so much content out there, and you're, wondering if it's going to turn into something you think it could be because you know this background info, and, specifically with, the re-recordings, it's, very similar concept. It's,
all these
we're re-recording the comic books, in a sense, right? And it's, you don't know what they're going to do.
And there's Natalie Portman, all beefed up.
Oh.
Man.
Who's she play? Thor.
So
Thor S.
In the first two Thor movies, she's not in the third one. She's in the first two. She's Thor's love interest.
Oh.
Jane Foster.
Jane Foster.
Who's she's a scientist, and she wasn't in the third one because they had broken up. In Avengers: Age of Ultron, you find out that they broke up and stopped talking to each other.
Oof.
And so she wasn't in the third because they were not talking. But now she's suddenly back. And this is now this will actually be because that came out 2013. 9 years later, she's back.
Interesting.
And in the comic books, Jane Foster's character becomes Mighty Thor. Is her actual comic book name is Mighty Thor, which is, I think is kind of cool.
Mighty Thor.
Jane Foster's character in the comic books gets cancer. She wants to find a cure, and she decides, because she dated Thor for such a long time, that maybe the cure is in Asgardian magic and technology. And in that research, she ends up actually being able to pick up Thor's hammer.
Oh, okay.
And whoever beholds the hammer possesses the power of Thor.
Yeah.
Is what happens. So she essentially gets all of Thor's power.
Wow.
And so in this one, I'm assuming what's going to happen, because in Thor Ragnarok, Thor's hammer was crushed and left on Earth, and he got a new hammer. So I'm assuming she's going to actually get cancer in this movie, find the pieces to Thor's hammer, rebuild it, and lift it, and gain all the powers of Thor.
Interesting. So then there'll be two Thors.
So there's going to be two Thors, which is just like in the comic books right now.
Okay.
In the comic books right now, there's, I think his name is he goes by just Thor, but Thor is the king of Asgard. He's really old right now. He has this big beard and more gritty kind of style. And then they have Mighty Thor is right now the main Thor in the comic books, and it's Jane Foster. Yeah, so they're introducing her, which will be really cool.
Yeah.
And Natalie Portman got buff, man. Seeing photos of her just in public and stuff. Wow. She's ripped right now.
Be so much work, hey?
Yeah.
These actors, they always do.
Yeah.
But she's cool. She was in Spider-Man 1, which No, not Spider-Man. Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, Star Wars. the original.
Star Wars.
Or, the
episode
prequels.
1. Episode 1, the prequel. Yeah, which I watched. Really. Gamora alive?
Have you watched the Guardians of the Galaxy movies?
No. But I saw
her die
when she died in
Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah. Yeah, Gamora was killed in Avengers Infinity War. Then suddenly, in Avengers Endgame, 2014 Gamora was in the big giant battle that was happening between Thanos from 2014 with a copy of himself or whatever, all that was going on. And Gamora was there. It was a copy of Gamora from 2014 in that fight. During that fight, she talks to Star-Lord, and she also talks to Nebula. And eventually ends up turning to the good side and fighting alongside them. during that fight in Endgame.
Right.
So at the end, when everyone's getting dusted, Gamora ends up not getting dusted because she didn't betray, and because she betrayed Thanos. So Gamora died in 2018, but now in the year 2023, is there a copy of Gamora alive and well, just walking around from 2014?
Oh.
And is this big plot hole they've just left open?
Do you think it's gonna happen?
I don't know. Like, they've not confirmed anything about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and what it's about, but I can assume, like, we know that Gamora's, like, there is a copy of Gamora just walking around. So wouldn't she be a part of that? That'd make a lot of sense.
Surely they would, yeah. They're gonna at least, even if she's not part of it, they're gonna, like...
Bring her back somehow,
or, like, talk about it, I mean.
Yeah.
Like in the movie, like, they're gonna...
Address it.
Try to address it. That's, yeah, like, provide some sort of closure or something, right?
Yeah.
I need to rewatch the movie because I don't remember this. LOL.
Yeah,
so funny.
Gamora in Infinity War was killed by Thanos, and so
to attain the Soul Stone, right?
Yeah, to get the Soul Stone,
yeah,
someone has to. That. Yeah, Gamora's dead alive right now. There's a weird copy of her, that's like we know exists, but it's a copy of 2014 her, who's a bad guy or just a redeemed bad guy, basically. Mm-hmm. And then there's the redeemed, like, one we love is dead though. So So this Gamora doesn't like Star-Lord still, barely likes Nebula and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's kind of weird right now.
Interesting.
And they've just left this since 2019 then as this big plot hole.
Yeah. That's kind of exciting, though.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an exciting one.
Yeah, it's a good one where you're like, this is like the most recent one of them all. Of like, it actually will probably get follow-up.
Yeah, you're going to get a follow-up of some sort. Even if it's like they might just be like, we don't know what happened to her or we miss her, but you're going to get some like mention probably. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's going to be something to do with Gamora. Because she's like, she is currently alive, but not the version that we had in any, like, every single Gamora we saw in the movies is dead. It's a whole new, like, copy of Gamora that knows nothing about what happened in any of the movies. Mm-hmm. So it's really weird.
Interesting. Wait, so she's alive.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And that's my last one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
That almost went an hour as well.
Yeah, so in conclusion. What's your conclusion? Just the old version.
Yeah, it'd be like if you took her from the first scene of the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. That's like the Gamora we have is the one from the very first scene.
Yeah, very.
Which is exactly like that's when she was taken from, is that moment.
Yeah.
Time traveled out of.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's weird. In conclusion, Marvel runs a very tight ship. Sony dislikes their ship.
Yeah.
And other news, they have only gotten more and more tight as you see the movies have gone on. A lot of these plot holes are from their early years.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And they've done a lot of things to kind of fix them or tweak them since. And they really stay very tight nowadays. And if there's ever like a hole, they usually try to find a way to fill it.
Yeah.
They don't like to let like things stay unexplained for very long.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I think makes sense based on like how much of a like universe they're becoming and how much of a like cult region of the internet and the culture that we have. Like it's like they know that they're being followed because they're a group of movies more as time goes on, right? Before it was just like Iron Man's a cool movie, Thor's a cool movie, and then like it really picked up speed, right?
Yeah.
And I can totally see like why they would start running a tighter ship. And I do think Disney, I don't know what you think about this. I'd love to hear your thoughts, but like being owned by Disney, like in later, I don't know what year that happened.
They were bought in 2009, but didn't gain control till 2012.
Okay. I see. Yeah. So I just feel like increasing control from Disney too. Like Disney, like is just so diligent in like those ways. You know, they want to run a tight ship and they want to like crowd please a lot and like that sort of thing. So I don't know if you think that Disney has an influence or not.
I think Disney definitely has Have you seen I saw Doctor Strange 2. Yes.
I'm halfway through the first one. I'm working on it. Yeah.
I definitely think Disney has had a big influence, especially in the way they want to market these movies. They're like, hey, can you bring out one with this type of diversity?
Right.
Is something like, I feel like Disney didn't, like, when you look at the ones that came out in, like, 2015, that was Disney being like, I think Kevin Feige pitched a Black Widow movie back then. He was like, next phase, we're doing Black Widow. And Disney said no. They were like, we don't want to give a movie to a female lead or something like that.
Well,
With a female-led superhero movie. Because before 2015, every single female-led superhero movie had bombed at the box office. Yeah. So they were like, that's too risky. But then, years later, when it came to like making it in the year 2020 or 2021, they pitched it again or whatever in 2019, like, hey, we want to make a Black Widow movie. Disney was like, yeah, make as many of those female-led superhero movies as you can.
Like, quick, do it, or we're gonna lose.
Let's pump those out. Yeah, kind of thing. Where it's like, what is trendy? Disney's like, hype, go for it. Get on that. Yeah. And so I think Marvel's influence then is like, if it's not trendy, they're gonna have a really hard time bringing it out. If it is something marketable and kind of trendy, they can just pump out as many as they want. So I feel like that's kind of how they've been ebbing and flowing. Yeah. Where that's why the movies have become the way they are now. Yeah. Is they go with the times and whatever is kind of popping off a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
They're very impacted by that. By what sells.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, and I started to read an article this morning talking just about how, like, superhero, like, franchises, they know exactly what we want to see, and they, like, in recent years, like, that's what they pump out. Whereas, like, back in the day, it was like risky to release superhero movies, and it was like unexpected, and they were the first of their kinds, and it was like lots of revolutionary, like, new movies that hadn't been done before, like the first Batman, the first Superman, like all those things, and like the iconic ones, but they were a risk because we didn't know the reception.
Even the first Guardians of the Galaxy. No one knew at all who the Guardians of the Galaxy were. Like, they were taking a complete risk releasing all these, like, F-list superheroes. But, like, Rocket Raccoon. Yeah. like Gamora. Who the hell knows who Gamora is?
But it sells, and then they do another movie.
Exactly.
Like, they're like, yeah, we understand the formula, and we're going to do it again.
Exactly. Yeah. They were like, oh my gosh, let's try Eternals this time. And even lesser. Right. Like, that's, like, Z-list superheroes, man. They're like, let's pump it out.
I've seen Eternals and I've seen Black Widow too. Those are like ones that we forgot to mention earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can totally see that.
It's really interesting.
Do you have any other conclusions to offer?
I love Marvel movies, and they're good for society and the soul. They've only helped.
Wow, yeah. That is a great controversial statement to leave off with.
Yeah. Okay. Next segment of our agenda. Dun, da, da, da. We are going to turn each other into superheroes. Okay. So, here is your page. Here are some markers. I'm just going to throw a bunch in the middle.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, these are like
fancy markers, yes.
Yeah.
I only deal with the best. Okay. So we have to. I think we should do it as a surprise.
Okay.
Okay.
So but we should face each other so we can't.
Yeah, we should face each other so we don't see these things. But I think some of them we'll need to have chat's help with, kind of thing. Like, we need them to voice their thoughts though.
I know. I was thinking that too. Yeah.
So I'm like, I need we hide the logos. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna give each other a superhero name. Okay. I gotta give Hannah a superhero name, and I gotta give her some powers.
And personality.
Yeah.
And logo.
And then a logo, and then if we have time, we'll make a costume. Okay.
And backstory also.
Oh yeah, backstory. Yeah. How did you get your powers?
So we're here to take like chat suggestions. I feel like whatever you suggest, we'll almost try to make it work. If people in chat want to suggest things, and we'll make that part of like the game, right?
Yeah.
It's like
So,
have to work with that.
what is Hannah's superhero name? Maybe I should just start with powers, because the power name is really like, why we don't call him Spider-Man for nothing. Like,
yeah. It's
Okay.
synonymous. Yeah. Maybe the backstory even before that.
Backstory. Okay, Hannah, how did you get your superpowers? What are your superpowers? I kind of think you have. What should your powers be? I feel like they gotta do something with like an object coming to life kind of vibe.
Oh, okay. Wait, are you gonna like?
What?
Yeah. Are you trying to make it to like suit me?
Yeah.
Or like
I'm
not?
trying to
Okay,
make it
I'll
suit
try to
your
make
personality.
it suit you too.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What are
Okay.
your powers? I want them to kind of suit you. So I'm kind of thinking, whatever you have like a notepad is your superpower. Whatever you write down in it happens or is created. Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
Mm-hmm.
You're like
It's,
elephant. An elephant shows
It's like
up.
some sort of. It's like kind of like Doctor Strange spell casting, but like
Yeah.
a little different.
You got your little notebook. Is that dumb?
Awesome. No.
I think it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we got your. Wait. Or maybe you just have to like say something and it comes out. No, I kind of like the notebook. Okay.
Okay, and is it okay if you're part of? I think I'm gonna make you part of the MCU.
Yes, make me that.
The
Okay,
Marvel.
I'm making you part of this too.
How do you
How
open
about
these?
You pop off the cap.
Got it.
Nice. So I think that you, in the MCU. How did you get your powers? Okay.
Wait, are we keeping it a secret? Because I think I have some ideas already for you. That,
Okay.
Should I keep it a secret?
Well, you gotta tell me my powers though.
I should tell you
Yep.
beforehand.
Yeah, tell me my powers while you write down my origin. And I'll write down your origin.
Are you gonna write it as a story?
Yeah. Okay, I'm writing a little story. Yeah. Yeah. What are my powers? Hannah?
Hold on, I have to think it through, and I might have to change this.
Oh wait, what do you think?
I'll tell you.
Oh my gosh, pre-writing a whole book. I am struggling to think of a story to go along with this. Yeah.
Okay, are you ready to hear your powers?
Yes.
Your powers are like building, which is modeled off of your love for Lego, if you're wondering. Yeah. Your power is like building, like so you have like some sort of immaculate abilities to like if you look at a building you can see through it and you could like take it to it's like telekinesis building. So you could like be like and like take it apart or whatever.
I can like dismantle objects.
Yeah, and put back together and stuff. And the reason is because you are actually some sort of like long, well, not before heard of nephew of Tony Stark, and so he doing some nanotechnology robot stuff. But with you, he's trying to implement it to the brain, so it's like you're like hybrid, like
I become
human
like hybrid.
robots, because that's
I become like half human, half a robot.
Yeah, because that's like some sort of like telekinesis is always some sort of that, right?
Yes.
Because you have to be like controlling
or
objects.
Or do magic
and,
stuff kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. But so for you, it's like you've got some sort of nano implants or whatever, and yeah. So, but I kind of revealed some of the backstory, but
I love it. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you your backstory now. Then.
Okay.
Okay. So. I want to write a story, but I'm too slow at writing.
Well, you know what? We might as well just say it
I'll
out
just
loud
tell
so
you
that
the
everybody
story.
can hear. Yeah.
Okay. So I have it that during the Battle of New York in 2012, there was a ship that crash landed into the Sanctum Sanctorum, where Doctor Strange and the Ancient One are.
Oh.
Well, the Ancient One at the time.
Did this actually happen?
Yeah. Well, there was the Battle of New York.
Yeah.
And,
but the ship thing.
Yeah. There was some crashing all over. I don't know if one actually.
Right.
Did, but I'm making this part up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It crashed into the library, and a bunch of the books went flying out all over the streets of New York, and one of them is one of the I don't know, magical cursed books of Ashanti or something weird like that. And you, curious, you're like, oh my gosh, I love reading. What's this cool book doing here? I mean, there's explosions in the sky, but like, who knows? Didn't even notice them. We're just gonna read this book I found.
Yes.
And so you open the book, and what you accidentally read is, I don't know, maybe it's in French, but I think it's in English because it translates to whatever language you know, is a curse to your senses, is what it would be. And so it makes all your senses cursed in this way to bring things to life. So like your sight, you're talking, and you're like writing and all that. And that's why when you write things down, they come to life, or you like say what you wrote down kind of thing. They come to life.
Yeah.
Or they happen. It's because it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the story I made along with it.
Love it. We have good stories.
Yeah, storyteller.
Love it.
Yeah. And so, yeah, now I gotta draw you, man.
And the logo or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's so much potential for your like story because now you have like Iron Man's legacy because he's
dead,
not with us anymore, and so you're like, I am a relative and I'm like somehow like half. Like,
I'm here to take his identity.
I'm literally shaped by him.
Mm.
And so you kind of like work with Spider-Man too because he's also like a mentee from Iron Man, right? So that's what happens in like 2024. It's a movie that's coming out. Yeah.
Give these two a Marvel movie. I know, the right? Popcorn, man.
Imagine the riches if we wrote a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I would have to live in a basement suite. Okay. It would be fun to be a writer though, hey, like for these kind of things. It would be stressful for sure. But I think it would be fulfilling also because you have like this work that you're doing that you're proud of and
yeah, for sure.
Whatever, which
I think it'd be really fun. Okay, I'm just making a little drawing of you. It's gonna be really bad. Just warning. A drawing of you using your powers is what I'm doing.
Oh, nice. I'm making your like logo.
Nice. Okay.
It's gonna be.
Okay. And then, okay, what else happened? I gotta think about this. Okay, after you got your powers, you got scared, and you hid. You hid your powers. That's why, like...
You get that?
Yeah. You were like, oh my gosh, no one can know. But you used them, and you spoke. I'll get another English degree.
Yes. We love to see it.
And it came into existence.
So I have a master's now?
Yeah, you have a master's and
nice.
A PhD that you willed into existence with your powers.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't want to abuse them because you thought maybe there's consequences. You don't know how a curse works.
Yeah.
And so you just decided to instead just have some fun.
What
and then,
fun did I have?
Well, getting yourself a master's degree. You were like,
oh, that's
iPhone 13. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You were like, oh my gosh. Like, And that's all you did for like 5 years. You didn't tell anyone about it.
Right, I was so
And
terrified.
yeah, you were so
I get
terrified. That was 2012. The year is now 2020.
2012?
Yeah, 2023.
I was 14.
Yeah, you were 14 when that happened. Exactly.
Right, so that would have been
So you were, like-
overwhelming for
yeah.
a 14-year-old, yeah.
And, like in high school, you were like, oh my gosh, like, tell me their secret. And that would happen.
Oh my
Someone would tell you their
gosh.
secret or whatever.
The moral ambiguity.
Yeah. You were like, we all thought Hannah was the goody two-shoes. No. Behind her back.
But she couldn't reveal that she wasn't the
Yeah.
goody two-shoes, so she had to
She had to
hide
fight the
it
part.
from everyone.
And then, but your power starts to go crazy. That's what happens in 2023, though. You
Oh, no.
start to not be able to control it as much. Like, things like your eyes and mouth start getting affected more. Like, your senses start acting up.
Right.
That's what happens.
Yeah, okay.
Like-
So it's getting messy.
Yeah, your powers start going crazy. You've had them
Yeah.
for over 10 years now.
Yeah.
Only been doing little things with them. Like, you wrote in your notepad, turn the lights off at night, and the light went off.
Living large.
Yeah, living crazy,
Yeah.
right? But now, when you just say things, they start happening. Or if you see something, like a duplicate of it shows up, and things like that.
That
Weirder,
makes so much
crazier
sense.
things start
Yeah,
happening.
that makes a lot of sense. It's
Yeah.
a good storyline.
It
Yeah,
escalates.
I like that.
And so, you decide you need to go find the help of Doctor Strange
Nice.
to go control your powers.
Right. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna be so shy to talk to him. What will I say?
Yeah, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, are you a vegan?
Hi. Vegan. Why vegan?
I don't know. I gave you. Wait, I'm not telling you what I gave you yet.
Oh yeah. Why does it say sounds like? Why'd you say sounds like a blessing?
Yeah, a
Why
blessing.
can't I
The
say-
light switch thing, right?
Oh,
That's
the
a
light
blessing,
switch
right?
thing? Yeah.
that-
Well, I've always wanted to be like Matilda in the movie where she's like flicking the switch and she's
Yeah.
like putting some cards in the air and stuff. The light switch. Okay, I need to think of a name for you.
Oh right, I forgot to think. Okay, but then I haven't. Okay, we got to get to the name because what happened? So you meet Doctor Strange, and he tells you that you've been using it like it's a blessing, right, Black Alchemist? But it's actually was a curse. It was labeled a curse of the senses, and
Yeah.
so you actually will never be able to have full control over it. So,
That makes sense.
so you're going to have to. I'm guessing, of course, because I don't really know the lore very well here. But there's probably a necklace that counters the curse, right?
Ooh.
So you're going to need to find this necklace in order to be able to have control of it. And that's what your movie would be about then.
Yeah.
Is you trying to find this necklace
Okay. Yeah.
to be able to have control over your powers.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
And
the
the
plot
thickens.
thickens!
Yeah.
Yes!
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll think of a name. I feel like what you want is not like what's the word? You don't want a very literal name.
Not a very literal name, like the leader.
Yeah. Like, your powers are building, you don't want Build-A-Man.
Build-A-Man? like
something.
Build-A-Man.
Yeah, I feel like you want something more mythical, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although your character's not really mythical. You're just Tony Stark's.
Yeah, but he's got like Iron Man. That's kind of cool.
Right.
Maybe
Iron
not like
Man.
not like Build-A-Man, but something
Like, what about... Wait, can I tell you? I can't tell you.
What?
Like, I have an idea, I just don't know if it's too literal.
What is it?
Should I tell you?
Okay, I'll tell you the name I'm thinking for you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm so nervous.
Okay. Wait, I gotta draw you a symbol though.
Wait, okay, let me...
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Okay. Tell me more of my story though. So I'm upholding his legacy, right?
Yeah, so you were an intern at Stark Laboratories, Stark Enterprises, or whatever it is. Along with just being a family member, and you had like a crazy high IQ as well, so Tony was really interested in your potential and how you'd have a potential to be an Avenger and like whatever. But let me see. The reason you weren't involved with the Avengers is because you were really young during the time that the movies were happening.
Yeah.
And you had like some sort. I don't know. You were at boarding school.
Oh no! Oh.
So you couldn't participate in that. And your mom, she was like a helicopter mom-ish.
Oh
In this
yeah, she was.
Scenario, just in this scenario, and she didn't like Tony. Tony's her brother, and she was like,
No, thank you.
"You're a chaotic dude, and you
Yeah.
don't have the rights to involve my
Yeah.
son in your monstrous games and whatever." So she sent you off to like really far boarding school, and Tony had to respect that. He just had to. So.
I guess so.
Yeah, so where are we in the, like, No Way Home? I just really think it'd be cool if you were friends with Spider-Man. You
Yeah.
guys became friends after he lost everything in the
Oh my gosh,
No Way Home.
I'm like someone. No,
Yeah.
I don't know who Peter Parker is. I don't know who Spider-Man is.
You don't know, but then you guys realized, and like you also had these experiments that
But
happened.
he might remember
before.
that I was Tony Stark though. Because he remembers his things, but I wouldn't remember
Oh
him.
yeah. But at the time you guys were both young, so you just probably saw each other like.
Hey.
Like around 2012ish, you guys were just like young experiment intern people that like, so you guys maybe saw each other around the laboratory, but like
That's it.
yeah. So yeah, I think that's how it goes. And then so you guys have like a joint movie or something.
Ooh, a team up.
Yeah, in like 2024, it's like a joint movie of like Spider-Man rebuilding and you being like, how can I find my place in this world? Because I have this like crazy power that's like Tony Stark gave me and like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay.
Okay. I drew a symbol. It got a little messy though. And
Okay. I still need to write your name on the
Oh,
symbol.
right.
Should I write it or should I
yeah, I'm
should
writing.
I preview
I'm writing
it?
the name.
Okay.
What?
So loud.
So-
Yeah. You know what would be awesome is another
What?
Incredibles movie.
They have Incredibles 2. You want Incredibles 3?
I do. Don't you?
Sure.
Really? Are you not an Incredibles stan?
I really did. I liked Incredibles 2. I think I just thought it was like just as good or like just slightly worse than Incredibles 1, and I was hoping for better kind of thing.
Oh, really? I thought it was like just as good for sure. Not
Yeah.
better.
I was hoping
Okay.
for better. Okay.
Okay.
I drew a little picture of you.
I just drew your little
Okay.
symbol
Okay.
badge thing.
I'll show chat first what your character
Should
is
I
and the
not
name.
look?
Yeah, don't look. Okay. This is the character. So this is their symbol and their name. And here we have their outfit. There's the notepad and the pencil. Yeah, and they're using their powers in that when they're going a little crazy. Okay, your turn. You can explain to chat yours. Okay, before I get to see.
So here's the initials you can see, and then this is the shield or like logo for this guy, and these are like the blocks illustrating his building nano building powers.
So fun. Okay. You ready to see?
Yeah,
Oh wait, what was the name? You have to say your name first.
Your name is Nano Man.
Nano Man!
But it kind of sounds good. It rolls off the tongue. Yeah.
I'm Nano Man. Yeah. Oh, but you love the hair. Okay, here goes my.
Okay.
I named you the librarian. I think it's pretty funny.
I love it.
Yeah. And then, okay, here you go, Hannah.
It's so unassuming.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, pink
So-
hair.
When you use your powers, after they've gone crazy and you have the necklace, your hair and eyes and your mouth and your like skin glows pink.
Amazing.
Now, yeah, when you're using your
Flawless.
powers.
Oh my
And so-
gosh, it looks so good.
Yeah, after it goes crazy. The necklace is your symbol.
That's
kind
the
of thing.
necklace? It
Yeah.
looks so cool.
It's like a
oh my gosh.
blue and purpley pink iridescent like charm with an eye in the middle of it. kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's your sort of logo then.
That's
is this
so
necklace.
cool.
Yeah. There we go. The librarian.
Love
Oh my
it.
gosh. Now I want to know what does mine look like. It's so excited. Nanoman!
Yeah.
Is that my
This is
logo?
just a shield. This is your logo.
this
It's
is the
like a
shield.
bunch of building blocks. It
I
looks
love it.
Lego-y.
Yes.
Was my goal.
I love it. And would this be on my chest?
I don't know. What do you think?
It could be. Or it's like that's sort of like
Yeah.
that outfit design. Like I have that Lego block pattern all over the whatever outfit I have.
Yeah, that would be nice too.
That'd
I
look
think
cool.
maybe both. A little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also thinking, like, now that I think of it, I think I have the blocks in, but I should add some sort of, like, brain aspect, because it's with your brain, right?
Ah,
So I need some sort of, like, nervous system also with this logo, but it's a good start.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put your whole name on the shield. I thought that was a little bit, like, too...
Redundant.
You don't always want to put your whole
No.
name on, you know, you want your initials, but that's enough, you
Yeah.
know? So,
Nanoman.
yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
So cute.
Magic notebook. Oh, you wrote the powers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah, you wrote little, like, I see.
Yeah.
The backstory too. Bullet
Yeah.
Points. Nice.
I tried to give you like librarian clothes. I was like, they wear like little like skirt or little
Yeah,
like
li-
dresses and a cardigan.
Little like
like a
pumps.
long cardigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cardigan?
Yeah.
I thought it
it's
was a
sh-
cape.
Oh no, it's
It's a
supposed to be like
long
a cardigan.
cardigan, yeah.
Yeah, like one of those long ones.
Well, you know,
that
I like
librarians
that.
wear.
It's like a hybrid, like cape and cardigan.
Yeah.
It's like a little too long for a cardigan, but
exactly.
it's a, yeah.
It's perfect. Yeah.
It's a little too knit for a cape.
Exactly. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. When you read a book, the things just come alive from the book. Don't read Lord of
Oh
the Rings.
my gosh, it's kind of like synesthesia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to only read good,
Yeah.
like tame.
You have to be careful what
Yeah.
you read. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I was thinking, Michael? Something we missed is our characters should meet in the universe.
They should meet.
Shouldn't they?
Okay.
Should
well,
we
we're,
be
we're
in,
in the
like-
same. We know we're in the same era, kind of thing.
Yeah.
We're both around the same age at that time. Then.
So there
too.
should be some sort of movie or something where we like
Okay. The crossover event.
the crossover. Yeah.
What is the battle that brings us together?
Yeah.
So you have to do with the Doctor Strange stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of multiversal battle happens?
That you get involved in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine
That's the
a
question.
copy of Tony Stark shows up from another
Oh.
multiverse,
Yeah.
and he's bad guy this time.
So then Doctor Strange, everyone gets
Doctor
involved.
Strange is
Everyone
gonna
gets
have to help.
involved.
And that,
I get
you're
involved.
friends with Doctor
Yeah.
Strange, so you have to come. He
Right.
brings you along,
Right.
and then because I'm Tony Stark's nephew, I'm like, Papa, is that you?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would get complicated. That's a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then it almost becomes like a new Avengers, Guardians. What's
Yeah,
another name?
a new team up,
The Conquerors,
the Conquerors.
the Commanders.
Well, in Doctor Strange, new movie, they have the Illuminati.
The
Is their new
Illuminati?
team? The new
Okay.
team that is formed.
Okay, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm
What
not-
about
I'm not that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we could join the Young Avengers team, and then we get to hang out with like Hawkeye. But what's her name? Pitch Perfect girl. Starving. Halle Berry. I
What?
didn't know that I was starving. Do you know that song?
Oh, Haley Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld.
She's in.
She's the new Hawkeye. She's now Hawkeye.
Oh,
That's what the Hawkeye show was
that's
about.
the show, right? Oh
Was
yeah.
She's now Hawkeye.
Starving. I'm like, what? Starving. I had no concept that was
Yeah.
a song for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like she's part of the Young Avengers, and then we could be part of the Young Avengers. Who else is a Young Avenger? America Chavez, who's now in the Doctor Strange movie. She's Young Avengers.
And Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland.
Character,
Spider-Man is the Young
yeah.
Avenger.
Yeah.
Who else could be a Young Avenger with us?
I think maybe MJ gets powers and joints.
MJ gets powers.
Yeah.
I feel like
And
there's
Ned.
a time. I think there's a time when she does get. Ned would become like Hobgoblin. He'd be like a bad guy.
Ned? Why would Ned turn against us?
He always does. That's always what happens to Spider-Man's friends. They always turn bad.
No, but Ned's different.
Ned's different this time.
Ned's so loyal. And
But what about who else? Wanda's kids from WandaVision?
oh
Because
yeah.
you got one super speed, one with the same as Scarlet Witch powers.
Okay.
But but at this point, we'd hope they'd be adults, though. I don't want kids on the team. We're young Avengers,
Yeah.
not
So this
daycare.
is like late 2020s.
Yeah.
The early 2020s.
But then we're in our 30s.
No, the earlies are introduction. Oh my gosh. Well,
if
that's
we
okay.
if we get to the late 2020s,
Do you think
we're in our 30s.
We're too old to be young Avengers?
Yes.
What to do? What to do?
Oh wait, we create the Young Avengers team.
We're like the older mentors.
Yeah, we are their mentors.
Well, they don't need to be like so young, do they? I feel like 30 is pretty young.
I guess so. But like these characters they're introducing are like 17.
Right. Yeah, we're not like the teen.
Yeah.
That.
Even now we're not teens.
No.
Yeah, we're adults, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are past like the homecoming era.
Like Kate
For
Bishop,
sure.
like the Hawkeye Kate Bishop character. Who's that's Haley Steinfeld's character.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's like the leader of the Young Avengers, or will be, and she's like 19
Wait, sorry.
or 20.
So the Young Avengers is actually a thing.
It's an actual thing
it's gonna
happening.
happen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
Cool.
they started introducing them all in different ways.
Yeah.
Because Wanda's kids are actually in it. America Chavez is a Young Avenger.
Wow.
In what's it called? Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show. They introduced Patriot, who's like this little black kid who gets like super strength like Captain America. So he goes by Patriot and gets the Captain America shield.
Oh.
What's another one?
And what about the kid on Eternals?
Oh no! Kill that! Kill that thing! It doesn't deserve to live. Yeah. She doesn't have her powers anymore though, because she's human now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
Hallelujah.
What happened in that.
Hallelujah. That little
And
pick
she's
me.
growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I lost track of time.
Great. We're doing great for time. We're doing
pretty good.
awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
what is the next thing on the agenda? Because we created superheroes.
Q&A.
Q&A. Oh wait, so
yeah.
I get to answer all your questions, Hannah.
Yeah. Should we like?
Should I write them down?
No.
Okay, never mind.
I don't think I closed the pen.
I did.
Oh, thanks. Okay, let me put my questions.
Okay. And if chat has any questions too, we're doing Q&A portion with Michael, resident MCU expert.
Yeah,
here.
or if you want to answer them as
yeah.
as a
Also, you
chat
guys might
person.
also know the answers.
Yeah.
If I don't, then
Or
Barry, you gotta
comments.
back me up. No,
Yeah.
Ah!
So my one question that I have is, kind of related from like my own observations, and one of the articles I was reading this morning also like confirmed that
Mm-hmm.
it's something other people are like thinking about or whatever, is that comic books used to be really, really, really obscure for the nerds or geeks or whatever you want to call them, like very niche subculture of like people who were into that. Like superheroes were not like mainstream, and the last
10 years?
I think even 10 years you can argue they've become really mainstream. I think
Since like the first Avengers movie.
yeah,
came
and
out.
I think they have been like everybody loved, I mean, I don't know about everybody, but you know, lots of people loved like Superman, Batman, like, you know, there was like
The Dark Knight
there
was
was
huge.
famous, yeah, but like comic books weren't huge, and with the whole MCU, I feel like there is a shift with superheroes being mainstreamed, and so I wanted you to comment on like the mainstreaming and maybe hybridizing of like mainstream and geek culture that is happening with like the MCU. Like hybridizing meaning like it's kind of like this mix, and I think that's like what I've noticed right now, and then I want you to comment on is like it's like this complex mix of like everybody goes to see these movies clearly because they're making so much in like the box office and stuff, but also not as many people know as much as you do, and like I just feel like it's like almost a tier system of like there's people who've like seen one or two Avengers movies or like went to see No Way Home, and then there's like the tiers, and it gets like crazier and crazier where you're like people who like know everything, read all the comic books, like whatever, and so like I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
that a
definitely
trend you're
not the
noticing?
biggest nerd. There's people that know
Yeah.
so much more than me, and they scare me.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, and that's the thing too, is like you people, it's so big that people can hold like intimidating amounts of information too,
Yes.
because of just knowing this like universe and stuff. And even I think the term universe is so like exemplary of that. It's like you call it the Marvel creative universe, you call it the MCU.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just like so huge that way. But yeah, if that makes sense as a question.
Yeah, I think it's to sum it up, super cringe. No.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I think it's a part of it is like, I guess like you see the hybridization of it being like very mainstream mixed with like that it was at one point a super niche topic.
Yeah.
Like I remember freaking out at Comic Con when they announced Guardians of the Galaxy. Right. And they showed that first concept art with Rocket Raccoon, and he was like one of my favorite characters at the time reading comics. I was reading the Guardians of the Galaxy comics and stuff.
Oh wow.
And it was like, oh my gosh, kind of thing. This is happening. Like I was freaking out. And then I remember telling my friends, I was like, you wouldn't believe it. The Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out.
Yeah.
And they were like, what
right.
the heck are you talking about?
Yeah.
None of them knew what that was. Mm-hmm. None of them cared about it. It was like me going to my like youth group being like, you wouldn't believe what I'm so excited about this week. And everyone there being like, you're a loser.
Yeah.
But then like now, I feel like it's a lot more where I guess the nerdism of it is still there. There's those like the really weird, not weird, I guess there's the big geeks that go there like, I know everything kind of thing, and get a little bit stuck up in their head of like, that was better in the comic books. Which is like, how is it better in the comic books? Like, it's you're seeing it on a screen, but then there's the casual fans. I find the weirdest fans are the ones that only dedicate themselves to like watch like the MCU. They're like, I only watch the MCU, and then like I'll watch everything they bring out and be dedicated to this. And I'm like, you don't want to extend to any other media. You don't really care to know where everything's from or history of anything. You're like, no, I just want this. And maybe this probably sounds like rambling, but maybe it's like what I'm actually like think is the weirdest part of it is the commercialization part of it, where like before to sell it, like comic books didn't sell very well, and no one was really reading them. Like every couple months they'd have to like stop a storyline for the sake of they needed to have another #1 issue. Like, we're canceling the Fantastic Four this month, but in 2 more months from now we're bringing out issue #1 Fantastic Four, because #1 issues sell 10 times more than a number 14 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they just kept canceling and restarting and rebooting and all the time. Why there's so many reboots and different versions of these characters is because people weren't reading them and didn't care about them like they do now. And so it's just a little weird. I know nothing about comics. Yeah, that's fair. And I think it's I think that's a really cool thing about these movies is people are getting to experience these stories that are very unique and were for a long time considered stupid. But I think so many of these stories are actually well written, well developed, good narratives, well written characters getting put, and a version of it is getting put to the screen, and that is really cool for so many people to see. I think the commercialization of it is just kind of baffling to me, because I just was a fan since people didn't want to watch them. And it just is weird, more so. And then there's now like the commercialization that feels almost more extreme, where it's like, okay, we gotta have these toys lined up. We're gonna make this character in this outfit to make this toy sell. And I don't know. It's just, I kind of think it's really cool to see it all very in the public eye, but very strange.
Yeah, I get that. And it's almost like, but I was thinking as you were like talking about that, it almost is a trend in society where something like
Sorry, I just said it so aggressively.
Like where something that is niche becomes mainstream, and like not mainstream as in like everybody's seen it, but mainstream in that everybody at least has talked about it. Everybody is aware of it because the theaters are selling out, the movie theaters, and the merch is selling out, and the Comic-Con is selling out, and like all of that. Like, I think it like illustrates the power of like, it doesn't actually take the whole everybody like to make something so huge.
Yeah.
It takes the niche being passionate and being given the opportunity to like enjoy their niche. And something that makes me think about that is like something like boy bands like One Direction. It's like obviously a lot of people were not listening to One Direction, but like teenage girls largely were, and that was enough to make them like one of the top selling, like breaking all these records in the moment that they had.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking like, yeah, I think, and I had a few other examples in my head, but I think that's a prominent one of like it's the teenage girl niche. Same as like Hunger Games, like all of the dystopian stuff is like popularized by teenagers.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, teenagers aren't like, 30, 40, 50, 60, like whoever year olds, like they're not the ones who originally like they'll maybe go see Hunger Games in the theater, but they didn't like make this popular. They're not the experts. Like their teenage daughters are the experts, or sons, and like whatever. And so I just think that's maybe kind of an interesting.
That's I think trend. A lot of what's happening here is
and
this. Like,
I think so, yeah.
Where I think like the first Iron Man movie was made for the nerds.
Yeah.
They were like, how do we? It was made. Well, the first Iron Man movie I think was made for the people that they were like, for the era that liked Batman Begins, which was these nerdy people or these like dudes that thought it would be cool. I need these dudes to think it's cool. Was who was the first Iron Man movie was made for. But now they are not at all thinking, let's make a movie for the dude bros that thought Batman Begins was cool. No one is thinking that when making the movies now. Now, when they make Eternals, their thought process was, we want to include more diversity and story-based, character-based stories that involve a wider range of family dynamics, a wider range of disabilities being incorporated to show representation on the screen. That was their process when they said they wanted to make a new movie, was include diversity and new family dynamics.
And all that in like 10 years.
Yeah.
13 at the most.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
It's just like, it's a very, very different world, very different fan base that they're dealing with now.
Yeah.
Where, like, they're not making, for the dude bros anymore. They're like, and I think that's because they've realized their audience is the ones that the dude bros. They're gonna go see it anyway because they like comic book movies. Like probably 70% of the people who saw the first Iron Man movie are still seeing every Marvel movie that comes out now.
Definitely.
But now you're also getting that little girl who really loved seeing like Miss Marvel, which comes out next month. Like she saw the trailer for that and was like, I want to see Captain Marvel first, kind of thing.
Yeah.
On my screen, kind of thing. Now you're also making a movie for that little girl, kind of thing. Yeah. Which is weird. When it was like, that was not 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, it's just interesting, like, it honestly just was like the
What's Marvel? Never heard of her. She's wonderful. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Linda Evangelista is a model. Yeah.
You're going to need to rewind.
Yeah, I might need to replay back the
sort
VOD.
Of Nickelodeon over Marvel over DC. Does Nickelodeon make superheroes?
They made Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Nickelodeon did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
There's so little that I know in the world. I know so very little.
Man, Avatar: The Last Airbender, that's a good show. Sorry, tangent.
Yeah.
Wait, what was your next question? Let's go to the next one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Excuse me, SpongeBob is a superhero.
Superhero. Hi, Bill, though. Nice to see you.
Superhero.
Nice to have you back.
I love SpongeBob.
SpongeBob's great.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't he a speedster in that one superhero episode they did? He was like,
probably. They've done so many episodes.
Yeah. There's that one where they all got superpowers, and he was like, "Want to see me run to that rock? Want to see me do it again?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's that joke. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yes. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, of course.
Yes.
From the SpongeBob creative universe.
That movie's good. Okay.
Actually, yeah.
What's your next one?
My next question.
Question number 2.
My next question is basically, okay, so I think this is going to be a common theme and thread in our podcast,
Okay.
and already has been, is like, we are noticeably talking about like very large, like, billion-dollar corporations and stuff. So like Lego, we talked about.
Yeah.
And, well, Taylor Swift even.
Yeah.
And Marvel now. And we're going to talk about Barbie. We already have talked about Barbie a little bit.
Yeah.
What else? Maybe that's it for now.
We did one on color, which we talked about so many different things.
Yeah, so like, but anyway, like, these big corporations, so we're talking about them and the things that they do.
Yeah.
And their power and how they wield it and how they create these like cultural phenomena. Because again, like from the very first episode, we said we find it interesting when things get popular and like whatever. But I think an interesting thing is like some like theory that I learned in school in like English was just kind of talking about how like dominant cultures, like, or dominant people that have control over like cultural art and things like that. So Marvel fits the bill, right? A dominant movie culture, and Disney, owned by Disney, right? Like they're dominant, they own everything, they're super powerful, they've got billions of dollars, like they own stuff. And in this theory, they would say that because Disney and Marvel have the power in society, they have so much power, they can buy out whoever they want, like whatever. I'm gonna cough.
Coronavirus.
Don't speak that over.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. What's another one? Ipetal?
What?
Isn't that
Virus?
a sickness? Ipetal?
Don't give me a sickness.
Icatal.
So this theory would say, and I could name names, but I forget. But this theory would say that because they own all this power and whatever, they are controlling what we think about everything. They're controlling what we think about everything.
Definitely
and they
influencing.
are controlling like what we care about and like whatever. Obviously not just artistic corporations. Like, you know, your shampoo brand can also control how you think about your hair and like whatever. But notably, like Disney and stuff, they're making art, but they're also making cultural production. They're saying this is what our culture values and cares about at any given time. And so I think like something to be talking about in this podcast is like the tension between that, and also you can tell they're not fully in control. I think that's my perspective, is like, yeah, I can see how they're totally influencing our culture. Like you see the way even just movies that aren't made by billion-dollar corporations like Disney are influencing our ideas of like love and what relationships look like. And you know, like basically all we know about like dating and love comes from movies before it comes from real life in a lot of cases. And that's just one example of like the way we think of
our perspective. Yeah.
Like the way we think is impacted by these things. But I would say that it's not that simple purely that Disney is controlling our minds.
No, because
I see these corporations.
How would a movie fail?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
kind of thing.
Exactly. It's like we're still like consuming, and we still have like some sort of like, you know, clawing way of showing that, like showing our opinions and what we care about and what we're gonna cancel and what we're not gonna cancel and like whatever. And you see Disney and these giant corporations that are so powerful, but you see them still responding to that, you know? Eternals being an example of trying to catch up with like a culture that is trying to be more progressive and like is valuing representation and stuff like that. I think Eternals is like an example. The recent female superheroes like Captain Marvel and Black Widow and Wonder Woman and stuff are also an example of like, I think, a response to the culture. I don't think the movie's putting out this like, we believe women should have rights, and now everybody's like, oh, like guys, I believe. No, they're responding. Yeah, they're like, we're trying to keep up with you.
Women do have rights.
They're like, no, just trust me. We believed that all along. We did. Like
the whole time. We just didn't think you'd buy tickets.
No, we just didn't think you'd buy. So we weren't gonna film it. You know, So I just think that tension is really interesting, and I just kind of wanted like you to comment on that more in like the Marvel universe specifically. Like, are they progressive? Have they ever been progressive? Are they just responding to progressiveness? And with that, I read this morning that Captain Marvel was originally a guy.
Oh, so
and the first movie in 1941 about Captain Marvel is the first comic book movie ever released. was about Captain Marvel, and he had him pronouns. So I'm assuming
Yeah.
in the article. So I'm assuming it was a guy, and I wondered if you knew about that and would give me a recap of that. Sorry, maybe I should have separated those questions.
No. It's a fun
Hopefully
thing.
it's not too much.
Yes, I do think that Marvel plays catch up, but also is someone that influences.
Yeah.
I do think there's like, we wouldn't have this movie now if that movie didn't come out then. It influenced that one to be able to have its audience and have its place. It influenced culture in that type of way, in that people were more receptible to those ideas.
Right.
Those things weren't as jarring on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like now when we see the first Avengers movie coming out, a big team up movie, that had never happened before. Like the closest thing we got to that was when Zack and Cody got on the ship with Hannah Montana and the Wizards of Waverly Place. Like when all the Sweet Life on Deck people were all there together.
Yeah.
That's the closest we got to Avengers level team up before Avengers came out.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like that was like no one had done that before.
That is such a
they were not
metaphor for the Avengers.
They were not influenced by anything.
Yeah. Right.
But now everyone's trying to copy it. Everyone's trying to do that, and so and things like that. But then there's other ways in which, where like how they depicted Black Widow, say in 2009, is very different to how they depict her now.
Mm-hmm.
When I think the audience has changed, the people within the company have changed,
Majorly.
the viewers have asked of things and they've responded, and it's been this response game sort of thing. So I think it's been a back and forth of them influencing certain things while also having to play catch up or having to respond because things didn't go well. And I think that's kind of where the movies sometimes fail, is they either weren't caught up enough or were trying to catch up and it didn't work, kind of thing. And that's a little bit, I think, the weird game Eternals was in when it came out. Was, I think, if that movie in and of itself is a very different style movie for Marvel.
Yeah.
So it's not the Marvel formula, and they're trying to sort of play catch up a little bit, but also want to be one of the bigger influencers in the game when it comes to certain other elements. So it's a very polarizing movie for the space it's in, because it's like, we want to make up for all these times we didn't have a diversity, but also we want to include these new elements that no movie really has done before, and it's like, that makes it for a very weird package of people being like, is this cliche, is this cheesy, is this overdone, kind of thing. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I think the Captain Marvel thing, so the character Captain Marvel has a really weird long history. So originally Captain Marvel was I'm trying to remember, I think it was this random little company made this character Captain Marvel. Before Marvel Comics ever existed, they had the character. That company was bought by DC, the Batman comic books company, DC. Then, when Marvel came out, they created the character Captain Marvel. But then DC said, you can't have him. We own the copyright to literally the word Captain Marvel. So they stole the character, essentially. And that became Shazam. Their superhero Shazam. You've seen that movie? Or you recognize it, right? No? Oh. It was a pretty big superhero movie that came out, Shazam, but his original name before they changed it to Shazam was Captain Marvel. And he was a DC character in the Batman universe named Captain Marvel. And so Marvel changed the name of their character that was Captain Marvel to Captain Marvel. And they called him Marvel. And he has permanently had to stay Captain Marvel because DC still owns the copyright. So in the Captain Marvel movie that you see, there's the one character they've just kept it, I think. No, they don't own the copyright anymore. Sorry, no. They just have kept that sort of character's legacy as being Marvel, which is very funny to me. I don't know why. But Marvel in the comic books, that character, I think he was who that movie was centered around. because he was like a superhero who shot lasers from his hands.
Like the 1941 movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel was weirdly, I think. If it's not about, I don't recognize this 1940 movie. I don't know which one it's about.
It's like
so it could be about either of them. It could be about Captain Marvel, or it could be about DC's Captain Marvel.
Right.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
But yeah, both companies had a Captain Marvel essentially that they were running as a comic book character. But Marvel found it really confusing that their character was named Marvel, and they really hated it that their character's name was Marvel. So around, I think it was in the 80s, I'm not 100% sure, maybe earlier, they decided they were going to kill off Marvel because they were sick and tired of having the character named after their brand be the wrong name.
Yeah.
So they had his character die in a giant explosion with this lab tech assistant, this pilot, and him were on this mission together, and he dies. All his powers got transported into her, and that is the character we now know. She became Miss Marvel. And so she was called Miss Marvel for a really long time until they got like the copyright back or whatever, and they
got it back.
They called her Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
And then the title of Miss Marvel got transferred over to a new character that's now called Miss Marvel, and she was released. I think her comic book only started in 2013 or something.
Oh, okay.
And her character's name is Kamala Khan. She was the first like Muslim written character.
I think I heard briefly about that.
Yeah. And her powers are like she's like super stretchy, like super strong, and like does energy blasts and stuff. She can grow to different sizes and stuff.
Cool.
And yeah, she went by the title of Miss Marvel, and she's getting her own show next month. They're starting
a show like on Disney Plus.
On Disney Plus.
Cool.
It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
And then so that's how we got our current Captain Marvel, and then they changed the name to Shazam at DC because they found it really confusing that they owned a character called Captain Marvel.
Right.
So they just changed it to, because there was multiple like the character Shazam. There was like a bunch, like he has a bunch of like friends that are part of him. There's like his adopted family. They all have superpowers and stuff. So they just changed it so their family's called the Marvels, kind of thing. They're the Marvels, like the group of them together, and then Captain Marvel became Shazam.
Yeah.
Kind of thing to make it less confusing. So this brand got Captain Marvel back and Miss Marvel and has Captain Marvel, and then they have now Shazam as part of the Marvels.
Wow, I mean that did not disappoint as a history of.
Yeah, weird character.
It's a big history. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Captain Marvel was, as we know it now, and there was a movie, right? Was made because they wanted to get rid of Captain Marvel. And then do something else with the powers and stuff. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a weird one.
Yeah, I guess that is something I wonder is like how old are these like female superheroes? Like are they like old comics like 1940s, or are they like very new like 2013 we decided like
exactly.
Stuff, you know?
I mean the first comic book issue or the first Avengers issue was the members of the team were Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, Ant-Man, and Wasp were the original 5.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Then
Ant-Man's part of the Avengers?
Yeah. He was part of the original 5 in the comic books.
Wow. He's not someone I know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And then and Wasp, because they really wanted to include somehow Ant-Man or Wasp in the original, she was written into the first script for.
She was?
Yeah.
She.
Wasp is a she.
Wasp.
Played by Evangeline Lilly in the movies.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, cool. Never mind.
No. Awesome.
Wasp is a girl. She was originally, because people were like, well, you got to have Wasp. She's one of the original members of the team. You got to put her in the Avengers. And so in the first Avengers movie was coming out, Joss Whedon was writing it, he wrote in a part for Wasp. She was going to be a SHIELD agent that just showed up in the final battle with Wasp's powers, essentially. And she was going to be played by Zooey Deschanel at the time.
Oh.
Which would have been so weird, man. Like, in hindsight, I'm like, that's so weird. But, yeah.
Interesting.
But then they canceled it. Because they were like, it's really weird to just randomly throw in a seventh Avenger out of nowhere.
That's a really weird way to do it.
Yeah. Just because she was in the comics doesn't mean we have to include her here.
Yeah.
It makes zero sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
I feel like this podcast has been me randomly being like, here's this really fun fact.
Yeah.
It has been this
Me
one.
just processing it.
I mean, like, cool.
What does it mean?
Yeah. But we're almost out of time.
Yeah. I think those are my two main questions, honestly. Like, the other ones, I feel like we're kind of...
Fluffy?
No,
Filler?
I just don't want to talk about them right now.
Okay, too emotional. You're right.
Yeah, I just don't want to talk about it.
Why?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, too scary.
No, it's just too many cans of worms that I think would be overwhelming. And
we'd go down a long tangent.
Yeah, I'd rather... And actually, we wanted to... Actually, no, I didn't pass this by you.
Wait, what do we do?
I shouldn't say we, but I was thinking...
Okay.
I was thinking that the viewers of this podcast right now should, like, let us know. Do you want more, like, superhero content? Because...
Oh, yeah.
We were kind of talking about how it's like we could easily do
DC
another episode. Yeah, DC. Or another episode on just the concept of superheroes. Like, why, like, the genre. Like, I like books. I'm an English major. So it's like I've learned a lot about genre, like, in my degree, too. So I feel like researching the superhero genre would be interesting. And people always, like, have hot takes and know things about superheroes that I think would be interesting. However, maybe that's not what our viewers are interested in anymore. Maybe this was enough, so...
We'll see.
Give us feedback
comment,
if you want.
Send me a message.
Leave a like.
Bill,
leave
I
us
trust
a DM.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Post it on the YouTube comment.
And I think movies in general would be a cool... Like,
yeah. I'm cool
are you interested in movies? In hearing more about movies on our podcast is also a question that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
No, I love it.
A haircut, Alana Conda said.
Yeah, a haircut. Is he bald now?
It's a fresh haircut.
I'm bald now. Yeah, we were just about to raid out, so you're perfect timing, Alana.
Actually,
but,
not.
What?
We're going to do our
yeah moment. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But as I find someone to raid, we got to do our yeah moments.
Yeah.
Okay, so for anyone in chat that doesn't know, a yeah moment is something... Wait, I'm too mentally over here. Do you want to explain?
So our yeah moment is just this kind of way of, like, it's like a little bit of a check-in at the end of the podcast, and we just wanted to do it as a close off each time. And basically, well, it's called a yeah moment because of Doja Cat, but a yeah moment's basically it's basically like a notable moment. So notable, it can be negative or positive, but it's something that you kind of stopped and you were like, yeah, like, wow, like, that just happened, you know, that kind of moment. Another way that Oscar has described it is by being like, if you watched The Office before, it's that moment when Jim looks at the camera and is like, that just happened. Like, I'm looking at are you seeing this? Like, that just happened, you know? So, yeah, that's a yeah moment. And we love to hear that from anyone in chat.
What's their yeah moment of the week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested in a movie episode, maybe. I love movies. Cool.
I'd love a movie episode. Cool. We want to do watch parties.
Oh, we do. Yeah, that's the other thing.
We kind of want to do, like, a Too Hot to Handle kind of trash TV one. Yeah. And binge the whole thing in one sitting. Yeah,
and then the watch parties would be out the Discord, which I just linked in chat.
Yeah, we really want to do that.
Yeah.
At some point. What was the other thought I had? My what's your moment?
I have to think. You should go first.
Yeah. My moment was I was on an airplane this past weekend, and I was getting on the airplane, and when I got, like, okay, I had to check my bag first. I'm checking my bag, and the lady that's doing the checking stuff just starts yelling at everyone, basically. Just the crowd, the general royal we, essentially. She just starts going like, I am working overtime. I am underpaid. I am upset, kind of thing, and just yells that. She then sees one of her coworkers, that like the one that's doing the other stuff outside. She yells at them and is like, "Hey, do you know when Gladys or something's coming in? I don't want to work anymore," kind of thing.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Yeah.
no, the poor thing.
I was just like, inappropriate, man. You're making your emotions everyone else's deal right now.
Yeah.
You gotta go like figure this out.
Oh.
Airport employee is my spirit animal. I did not find it very appropriate. I find that I was just like not impressed. Man.
Totally. Yeah.
I like
it's hard to
like
watch.
no one is responsible for this other than her. Like she's got to figure this out, man.
Well, it's certainly not your responsibility.
Not my
She can go
responsibility
to her
to
boss
care
and
about. Yeah,
stuff,
go complain to your boss.
Uh-huh.
Like send them an email. What am I gonna do about it other than you now made me feel horrible?
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt horrible, and then I get up to think she's super rude to me.
Yeah.
And she's telling me like she's trying to make these like jokes to me, but they're all like, wow, you can't go any slower, huh? Kind of thing. Like, be like, oh wow, I was rooting for you to actually have that pulled up on your phone and stuff like that.
So rude.
And I was just like, and then I went no. I like told her, and she was just like, what? I was like, I do not like your attitude. Do not talk to me like that.
You said that?
Yeah, to her
my
face.
Gosh.
And she was just like, what do you mean? I was like, you don't talk to people like that. Like, I don't appreciate it.
I mean, yeah.
And then she got threatened and like freaked out. She went and sat back in her chair, and then she like looks back at me. She's like, "I'm so sorry, sir, if I offended you," kind of thing. And I was like, "Yeah, just don't talk to people like that.
Yeah.
Like you don't make your bad day everyone else's problem."
Yeah.
I was overwhelmed. Yeah, and so I was like, I was just like, oh my gosh. And with my whole family, and basically I'm like, I grabbed my stuff and just left them because they were not willing to back me up. They were like, oh my gosh, they were like, this is intense, man, intense. Everyone's feelings are up. And I was like, you do not treat me badly. I don't care how much you're overworked. You do not talk badly to me. You do not be rude to me right now.
Yeah.
That was my vibe. Yeah. I did not have I have no tolerance for people like that anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. That's my moment. Yeah moment.
Yeah. People feel free to put your moments in the chat.
Yeah.
I think my moments maybe happened in an airport as well.
This week?
Yeah, I was also at an airport this week, and we got like we were sitting at the gate and we were really early because the airport told us to come early because they're having backup in security, and so we came really early. Then we were sitting at the gate for like a full hour, and then finally there's this announcement saying, we're gonna start. This was at 6:30. And the flight was at 7:30. We're going to start pre-boarding at 7. And we're like, okay, like pre-boarding at 7. Like, we're not pre-boarding. Like, we're just boarding. So, like, we have time. But we wanted to get, like, coffees, like, fun drinks. Because my Oma gave us, like, some money for coffees. So we're like, we're going to get some coffees and enjoy our little treat money, you know, and whatever. So we walked a long ways to find, like, a good coffee shop in the, like, terminal or whatever. And we found our delicious drinks, and they were delicious. And they were so cute. I can show you guys the picture. We took pictures. We were just we like took pictures. We started to send them to Oma. We're like, this is what we bought with your money. Like, this is, you know, having a great time and like whatever, just vibing. And then around like 6:58, we're like, okay, like we could head back to the gate just to be like around for like the other announcements. We start heading back, and after like it was a long walk away, we start heading back, and we hear an announcement for our last name, party of 2, final call. And we were like, what? We're like, wait, you're not even supposed to be pre-boarding yet. Like, final boarding call? So we're like so embarrassed because we're still in the hallway. Like, there's a long way to like our gate. And so we like
run.
Yeah, we like run, but we're like trying to walk because we're like so embarrassed. Like, so embarrassed.
Just run.
But we're like, we have to run. Like, we like, final call. Like, we can't miss it. Like, we're not missing our flight. And yeah, so we like ran up to the gate, and we're so embarrassed because we still have these beautiful cafe drinks in our hands. And I just felt like, you know, the classmate who like walks into class late with their Starbucks.
Yes.
You know, and it's just that attitude of like, I don't really care about this class. I care about my Starbucks and like my my vibes, That's
Yeah.
just like how it felt, and we were so embarrassed. And they called us twice during our like walk too. It was our last name party of 2, and we're like, oh my gosh. And
Oh,
we
no.
were so embarrassed. And we come to the gate, we're like, so sorry. Like, I was with my sister. And my sister was like, I almost threw out my drink because I was so embarrassed to like be seen. Like, clearly we weren't late because we got drinks. We just weren't at the gate at the right time. And anyway, so that was a young moment. It's just like hilarious. I've never
That
had
is
my name called
so
at the airport.
awkward.
And it's just such a funny way to have it called that we weren't actually even late. Like,
Yeah.
we had been sitting there for so long. We just go to get our cute little drinks, and then, yeah. So that's my yeah moment.
That's a pretty good yeah moment.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Never happened before, but final boarding call, oh my gosh.
Man.
Yeah.
I'd be nervous. I'd be so scared I was missing my flight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So scared.
Well, I know, and we, like, got blessed with the fact that our aunt paid for our flights. So I was like, I cannot waste my aunt's money.
Imagine.
Like, that is the worst thing I could imagine right now. Like, yeah. For these lattes.
Yeah.
For these, like,
these
whipped,
beautiful
yeah,
drinks.
these beautiful. I can't even describe it.
But then you can blame your Oma.
My sister.
Oma made us late.
Oma forced us to go to get the lattes. Yeah. No, mine was like it was like a caramel mocha, and it had like this beautiful drizzle on the top. And my sister's was a margarita, like lemonade, like frozen lemonade. Yeah. Yeah, really fancy.
That sounds fancy.
Anyway.
Okay.
Looks like nobody wanted to share.
We don't
a
got
yeah
any
moment,
other
so
yeah moments.
It
so
might be time to raid. And
what's
it
happening?
is in fact 10. I think you just pressed an apostrophe in the chat. And it's exactly 10 o'clock, so look at that.
Exactly 10 o'clock. Okay, we've got
Once again, we're on schedule.
Yeah, we're so good at this, aren't we?
Yeah.
We got our get into it raid.
Nice.
Yeah. So if everyone can copy the raid message.
What's that emoji?
It's the space one.
Milky Way. Nice.
Yeah. I think it's cute. So if you
Yeah.
want to copy that lovely raid message, thank you, Bill, Barry, Black Alchemist, Alana, Babu Ari, Aiden, all the people who've vibed and visited. I don't remember who else.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. I think
We had-
we covered
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Really nice to have you guys. Yeah. Please check out our TikToks and things like that. It's just a fun way to connect.
Yeah.
We really, really enjoy it when people comment and party with us.
Yes.
Aw, thanks, Barry.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. We
So
like to
much fun.
vibe.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. We like to vibe.
It's
'Kay.
truly an honor.
I am going to be rating a friend of the pod.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh, that's such a phrase, hey?
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, a friend of the pod. Squid. Yeah, they're actually like an IRL friend.
Mhm.
And so I've never gotten to raid them. And they've raided me a couple times. Actually, like they were one of the first people I think that raided me ever.
Aw,
Yeah, and
that's nice.
so I get to return the favor. Yeah, thank you guys for
Awesome.
visiting. Bye. Uh-oh.
Why did it